quickly put it to public. And...
Alright, I'll stop playing video games.
Yeah. I think that's the first thing that people heard when they click on that video now. Hello, we are live with stuff, as we always are.
I was playing Celico, everybody. It's a very good shooter.
Yeah. It sounds pretty fun.
And it's cheap.
Yes.
10% off, I think, until Tuesday.
No.
Isn't that right, bro? He's a good puppy.
Let's see. Let's give people some time to arrive. Well, if you're wondering, JLongbone is running a bit late. She's already added to the call, so she can join whenever she's ready to go. So hopefully that's gonna be soon. So how is everybody doing? So let me throw out that tweet and Jaimas here real quick. There we go.
I've been all right. I suppose a little on the lonely side. My wife's off gallivanting around the United States, but I'm here with the pups.
Nice. Allegedly running late. I mean, that's I guess. It wasn't like an accusation. So
maybe the alleged is if she doesn't show up, then it's not running late.
I mean, I didn't know how to cover my legal grounds with this statement, so I guess it's allegedly late.
we have to consider legality of statements on the internet now.
Oh boy. Agent Atlas Shepard, you need to take her on this mission. What do I do? That trailer was so funny, dude.
Yeah. That was the trailer editor just taking the piss, right? Because, I mean, that didn't exactly happen, or, like, the circumstances by which she ends up in the robot are not, like, when she said, you need me on this mission, she was planning to be inside of one of them.
Yeah.
Like, so, I guess it makes a little bit more sense in the movie, but, man, that trailer editor did not do her any favors.
No. But, this is a funny movie. It is a very funny movie. Not by choice, but it has very funny things in there, and also just bad things. It's the full package. It's one of those where you watch it and it's like, I wonder how many weird errors and things I can find by just watching it once, and there's enough. I think this is like a movie you watch a couple of times. No, you wouldn't watch it.
I was about to say,
if you would watch it,
I could sit through it again.
If you would watch it a couple of times, you'll probably find more and more issues. I think I had some more thoughts while I was just thinking about it, because I prepped this for like Thursday because I initially had plans on Friday, but those fell through. So this movie had time to marinate in my brain juices. But yeah, is this movie gonna break me like the GVK did? I don't know. This is a little more funny bad, and it's just funny this movie exists, because it feels like that it feels like they're trying to start a franchise out of this, but nobody likes this movie.
Yeah, it really seemed like this was their crack at doing like a cheap-ish movie, in that it was probably all shot on like a green screen with like Jennifer Lopez in one prop, and like, I don't know, like 3 scenes with Simu Liu in front of a green screen doing some stuff. And then like the one other character who oddly enough is named Casca, which not the name I would have picked for like a big black guy. Saying it's like, to me, Casca is like the, slim, dark-skinned girl from Berserk who very, very attractive, and I'm
True.
like, well, that was a weird name to pick, and it seems odd that you would pick that one if not to reference Berserk, because I don't think it's an actual name, is it?
I don't know.
It's the only time I'd ever heard it.
I even
Guts is probably not an actual name.
I forgot about it. Also, people said you were a bit quiet. I put you up a little bit on my end because you were a bit lower than last time. So let me know if you can all hear Lamarck well.
Should I like turn myself up or something? This is about as far as I can go.
Oh, I put you up already as well. I just need people because I can hear you fine. It's just I just need people to tell me if it sounds good. Hey Mootle, Atlas, and Godzilla are on Netflix. Guess which one I'm watching? Oh, you should watch Godzilla 100%.
Yeah, Godzilla minus one is a much better bet.
Yeah.
Everything about that movie is better than Atlas.
Yeah, it's still pretty quiet. That's weird.
I guess it's lacking the like 2-3 shots of Jennifer Lopez in tight jeans. That's the only thing minus one doesn't have.
That's true. That's true.
And honestly, it was kind of the only thing Atlas had going for it, and they happened right towards the end.
It's like my Discord lower? No. I mean, it's like Mark sounds like pretty normal to me, so I don't know. I don't really know what's going on.
I mean, I think I'm at 100% output in my voice and video end.
I mean, I'll just throw you up another 20-ish% or something. There you go.
Hello, how about now?
Because I could hear you fine this whole time. Maybe chat is just snoy. Yeah, I said it. Big old snoy lord.
I mean, at least looking at my levels in stream. Oh, my Streamlabs levels are actually kind of okay. Maybe I can just
still low.
Okay.
I mean, you've gotten
okay,
louder.
Wait, I'm gonna do something else. Let me know if this becomes terrible.
No, hang on.
How about now?
I don't know. I think it's still the same. But
okay, really? What? I just cranked up like 6 decibels.
But that went higher. Put it back to where it was. I just put my whole audio mixer thingy for desktop up. Maybe
okay,
that's
it's where it was now.
Because if it's not your actual balance on Discord, it's probably in OBS. So let me put you back to the 100% that I normally have you on.
Hello. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Let me pump up those desktop numbers. There you go. Now you have to be louder for them.
My name is Mark, and I am part robot.
And now
Hello.
17 ears exploded.
Good day to you all.
Metal is boomerang. I'm debugging. I'm actually trying different things. That's not considered boomerang.
Troubleshooting.
I hate you. Better? There we go. Okay, so I guess desktop audio was not high enough. I had the whole Casca name story and we talk about audio instead. Well, some people want good audio on the things they listen to. Swole. That's what you say. Casca is apparently a boy's name meaning old. Oh, okay.
Is it?
Interesting.
Okay, that's odd. It was still weird for me. I was like, Casca? Why the hell is this guy named Casca? Like, funny enough, if she was a better actress, young Jennifer Lopez might have been aesthetically pretty close to what you would probably pick to want to play Casca, but, like...
That's true,
I don't think she's a very good actress also, so that could be a problem. She's a fine pop star, I suppose.
She did kinda well, I guess.
Trying to think if there's any movies I liked. I guess Out of Sight with George Clooney she was okay in. That was old, though. I'm like... I don't know, like, is there good Jennifer Lopez movies, like, traditionally, that other people would agree are like, yeah, she was great in this, or do they not exist?
Jennifer Lopez, IMDb, because I don't even
Jersey
know.
Girl was okay, I guess, but she's not in very much of that, and even then, it's probably one of Kevin Smith's weaker movies, so I don't know. I don't know that I'd give her that one.
Jennifer Lopez movies, Shades of Blue, that's a series apparently. I don't know.
Not seen that.
Ice Age 4? Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I guess like maybe you can't count voice work, because like voice work generally is not sold on the actor, you know.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking, like, does anyone remember Jennifer Lopez from Ice Age 4, or is it like, oh,
I don't think I've ever seen Ice Age 4.
I mean, neither have I, which is why I phrased it as a question.
Where's JLongbone? JLongbone is running a little late. She's already added to the call. She can join whenever she's ready to go. But we had to start up, I'm afraid. But yeah, I said it offline already. I'm giving myself a bit of whiplash today. Well, not today, the whole weekend. Because my weekend was only supposed to be, I'm going to watch all of Lord of the Rings. And I'm now halfway through The Return of the King, and now I have to talk about this. And yesterday I was summoned to the EFAP mines, and had to do that. So, yeah, I'm still not done with that, but Lord of the Rings is really good, in case you didn't know. There's your new crazy information. But yeah, I haven't seen them in like a very long time, so it was very much overdue to finally watch those.
They are good films.
Oh yes, Return of the Atlas, yeah, for sure. Um,
Oh yeah, I can't wait for the third entry in the trilogy. It's gonna be amazing.
don't tell me that Wall Trip video was not worth it. I don't know. I just probably lost some more brain juices once again, going into the EFAP mines. Yeah. It's always those ones. I always end up being in those crazy ones. Oh, lots of times. I don't know. My brain is mush though from this weekend. I've been going back and forth with good and bad stuff. It's it's kind of jarring. Gives you, as I said, gives you a bit of whiplash. Anaconda is a fun movie. Oh, the Atlas of the Better Universe is ready, boys. Yeah, for sure. God, I wonder if this is one of those movies that got like multiple movies greenlit, but I doubt it. This seems like a one and done thingy.
With Netflix, you never know. Like, you don't know what the deal was. Like, I mean, I know because for Adam Sandler, they just signed him to a specific amount of movies, so he can kind of just make whatever he wants and put them on Netflix, and they, I don't think they have a lot of like quality control over it.
No.
So this might be one of those deals that they signed Atlas for like a few different movies. Same with Snyder, actually, for Rebel Moon.
Yeah.
I feel like if it wasn't a deal to have the 2 Rebel Moon movies and the 2 director's cuts, we probably wouldn't have gotten more than one.
He's gonna direct another 300 movie.
Are you kidding?
No,
Oh my god.
that's a thing that has been announced. He just keeps getting work, and I just don't understand. I don't understand. It's just
They really got to not call sequels to 300 300 because it makes no sense.
Yeah. Hey Wolf, what's up? Congratulations, JLongbone, for a successful transition from woman to MarcTheCyborg.
Oh, yeah. It was a long road.
Yeah. Hopefully she's gonna join soon. She's in the call. Added. Just needs to click the button. 300 Spartan propaganda. True. 300 was at least a fun movie, but that's about it.
Yeah, I think actually 300 was quite literally Spartan propaganda. That
Yeah.
was the reference that it's Faramir just telling the story of what happened to other soldiers, which actually does, I think, a pretty decent job of explaining all the ridiculous shit.
Yeah.
Because, it's that version of the story, and it's probably embellished.
God, I wish he just would stop getting these high-profile work thingies. Just make something good in between all this shit stuff, which is all bad. It's all bad.
Yeah, that's always kind of the weirdest thing, right? It's like these visionary directors always seem to be jumping from like franchise to franchise of things that aren't really.
Yeah, that's because
Like,
Zack Snyder is the
very
blueprint, and
visionary. Is he? What's he the
That's what
blueprint
that's
for?
people have been saying. That was the meme for a while. Well, meme for us, the truth for Snyderoids, Snydernoids,
Blueprint
whatever.
for ways to improperly and excessively use slow motion.
Yeah, wasn't there already 302? Oh yeah, there was, but I think that this one is a prequel. I would need to find the tweet again. I've seen it like 2 days ago or something. But yeah, it's yeah.
Young Leonidas stories.
I gotta follow him
What if
through
we
the
turned
wild.
the time that he was out in the woods and fought that wolf into an entire movie? It'll be like The Revenant.
Oh my god, it's like a Predator movie.
Yeah, like The Gray, but with Leonidas. Except he fucks up the wolves at the end.
Yeah. I hope just the wolf doesn't shoot himself at the end, like in Predator or Prey. The latest Predator movie with the.
I didn't hate that one. I thought it was okay.
Mhm.
It wasn't great, but it was better than I thought it was going to be. I'll say that much because I thought it was going to be really shitty.
Oh yeah, that's what
And,
we all thought. That was part of the video we covered last night. Actually,
I watched it actually with the Comanche dub, and it makes it a much
That's
much
funny.
better movie because all of a sudden the kids don't sound like teenagers or early 20s people from LA. They actually sound like they're Comanche warriors and hunters and stuff.
Yeah.
And apparently, the initial plan was to shoot the movie in Comanche, like with everyone speaking, and obviously the French people speaking French, and
Right.
everyone speaking their own language. But apparently, I think it was either Fox or when Disney bought Fox, they were like, "Yeah, that's not happening
Yeah,
because
we
we'll
can't
make
have people
no money
read.
if we do that."
They probably can't even read.
Meanwhile, Parasite wins Best Picture, and Squid Game becomes like the
Hmm.
biggest show of a couple years ago. It's like,
Weird.
I don't know, if you make something good with subtitles, people will watch it.
Yeah. When's the announcement of Rebel Moon 3: The Scar Child on fire? God.
Rise of the Scar Child. Or The Scar Child Returns, like just a cringe sequel title. Dawn of the Scar Giver.
It's gonna be cringe and edgy and all the things above. You always find those the fitting gifs for your tweets. I'm sometimes surprised how well they fit for you.
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah,
you gotta get good at gift searching.
Yeah,
Understand
apparently.
the words to search for to get what you're looking for.
I was disappointed it was only a dub. Would have been neat that way. Yeah, I like that stuff. I like it. Makes it feel more real. You cannot
And
begin
apparently
to
the
fathom
dub
Snyder's cringe. No.
apparently the dub is all the same actors. Like they actually did learn all the lines in Comanche, which is why they were able to do the dub. But then they're like, no, we're just gonna shoot it in English because apparently it will make no money if they don't. And then they didn't put it in theaters anyways. So it's like, wait, you're the streaming only movie? You couldn't have done something bold and interesting just once?
God forbid doing something interesting.
I feel like people wouldn't have complained too. Like, what would people be like? Oh God, like I mean, the movie was okay, I guess, but I couldn't stand reading those subtitles, man.
So I can't
It's
even
so
read.
lame. It should have been in English.
Yeah.
They should have been speaking in English with no accents that make them sound like they're literally just from Los Angeles and walked onto the set. Like that was, I think, the most immersion breaking part of the movie, that they didn't sound at all like anything other than modern day like young adults.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, in Comanche, I don't know what LA teenagers sound like speaking Comanche, so that effect did not land in that version.
No. Oh well. The things that could have been. Yeah. Before we jump in, again, JLongbone is in the call. Can join whenever. She's not quite ready yet to go, so she's gonna join in hopefully soon. Just isn't.
It's also, I guess, while we're doing a bit of extended preamble.
Yeah.
I played some interesting video games in the last couple days and or weeks. Celico being one of them, the one I was playing just before the stream that I streamed yesterday. There is also a game out called Mullet Mad Jack.
Okay.
That is amazing. Like it's unbelievably fun, and it's very, very simple. Basically, have you ever seen the film Crank?
Oh yeah, both of them.
Okay, so you know how the deal with that was he needs adrenaline in his system, otherwise he dies.
Wait, say that again.
Like so he has to constantly be doing shit, and he needs to have adrenaline in his system, otherwise his heart stops and he dies. It's sort of a similar premise, but you have 10 seconds to live, and each level takes about 30 seconds to a minute.
Oh, okay.
And,
so you have to reset your counter all the time.
But the way you do it is by getting kills. So it's not a map. You don't have to like find the exit. You're pretty much always just running forward, and sometimes there's like one or two exits you can go through, and it's just like switching between the two because you're moving very, very fast, and you're just trying to get as many kills as you can to keep your timer up at 10 seconds. And you can't go beyond 10 seconds with the timer, so you can't add time beyond that. You're always capped at 10, so you can never go 10 seconds between kills, and usually kills will add like 2-3 seconds to your clock. And yeah, it's pretty good. It's very easy to just start playing and immediately be having fun.
Nice.
Yeah. You get through 10 levels, and then you fight a boss, and then you've unlocked the next area, and
Oh, sounds fun. That sounds like it could be fun. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Also, Hades 2 is very good. Strong recommend to Hades 2.
Nice. Yeah,
I've finally beaten Chronos. So I've basically gotten through the content of Hades 2 early access.
Nice.
And it's good. It's fun.
can't wait for it to fully release because that's when I'm gonna play it. Mostly because I'm
Yeah,
still
honestly, like
in my own games.
gameplay wise, it seems pretty much final, maybe with the exception of like balancing stuff, but it's ultra polished. I think the only thing
Nice.
they're adding in is some of the character art. Like, if you play the original Hades, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so like some of the character portraits are like sketches right now, so it seems like they haven't like finalized the art on them.
Okay.
And a few characters are just wearing these big cloaks, so like clearly they haven't done the character model for them yet.
Right.
And at first it was like Narcissus, and he's wearing this cloak, and I thought, oh, is he wearing the cloak because it's like hiding his face from everyone except for him, that he can see it with his reflection? And then I noticed like 3 or 4 characters wearing the same cloak, and I was just like, oh, they just haven't made those character models yet. But it's things like that are missing, not like massive bits of content. So yeah, I would still recommend the early access purchase if you're at all interested in it. But you should finish Hades 1 first, because the story does it really does ruin the end of Hades 1 quite a bit.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Not as much as I thought it was. I thought it was kind of going full blown like Last of Us 2, but yeah, it turns out all the characters of the original are not dead. They're just like in stasis. So I'm like, okay, so they can come back. Because I was like, oh, did you just slaughter everyone that was in the first game? Like, what the hell?
Damn. Mauler turned drinker on Fallout. Need Mauler to play Final Fantasy VII Remake to turn drinker around again. Oh boy, okay. I have no horse in that race. I have no fucking idea. I've heard.
I don't know that Mauler would like Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh, he's not gonna play Final Fantasy. It's
Yeah.
No. I'll be very surprised if he would even think about that game or consider
Also,
it.
remake and rebirth. There's a lot of fleamy stuff happening with the story. Like anytime the time ghosts show up, I cringed like when I was playing those games. I was like, oh my god, more stupid shit's gonna go down that's gonna piss me off knowing the story of the original, isn't it? And sometimes it was not so bad, and it's just like, okay, they threw the time ghosts in there kind of as a making the player nervous about what might happen deal. But like at one point they I guess here, minor spoilers for one segment in chapter I think 9 of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. In 3, 2, 1. They pretend to kill Tifa, and like they milk it for like a solid half-hour sequence, and I'm just like, there's no way that they just decided to kill Tifa in this one instead of Aerith, and that's gonna be like the twist. And then by the end of that like 20-minute segment, she's totally fine. So I was like, see, stop that. Don't if you're gonna say, hey, we're doing timeline trickery, you can't bait character deaths, okay?
Yeah.
It's just gonna make people not trust you at all. If you're gonna kill a character and be like, hey, this is a real alternate timeline because now Aerith is alive and Tifa's dead, that's something, right? Like you could be like, okay, now we're doing something with that story. But to just make you think she's dead, and then by the end of the chapter, it's like, oh, she's just fine. Yeah, that big whale that ate her, yeah, it spit her out. It's cool.
Obviously, that's how whales work. You idiot.
Spit her out in the same spot it swallowed her, too. It's like she just ends up in the same place after going on this big, long journey underwater. It's so weird.
Right.
Worst part of that game, I swear.
Often playing wind.
Combat's okay, though. I think Rebirth and Remake have pretty decent real-time versions of Final Fantasy combat, because you can still do a lot of the Final Fantasy things. Like, you're still controlling a party, you still have spells, there's still an active time meter. Whereas 16, I thought was just they were making a Devil May Cry game. It's just they called it Final Fantasy.
Well, there's your review of Final Fantasy VII Remake or something.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like seeing as we I guess don't know when Jay's gonna show up, I suppose we can jump into the meat of the show. But I don't know. I figured I'd vamp for a bit. And hey, look at that! Next week's our episode 100.
It is. Lots of people have said yes already. It's gonna be all kinds of people coming to hang out. It's gonna be fun stuff indeed. Not even a specific topic. We're just gonna hang around at first, I guess, and then we're just gonna play some party games. You know, all the good stuff. Even took the Monday off so I can drink myself to death or something. We'll see.
Yay.
Bring back drunk rags. That would be the best case scenario for that stream. That would be funny. Can talk about mashed potatoes again or something.
A Swalpool was offering to fight me.
Oh.
I'll play Final Fantasy 16 again when it's on PC, but I don't know, man. That combat system just didn't really seem very Final Fantasy to me. There's no status anomalies or elemental damage, man. Like, come on.
Anyway, Metal, it's episode 100. You know what that means? That's right. Movie Bob challenge number 2. No. Do not do it. Oh, God. Oh, well. Well, we've dodged it long enough. It's time to talk about good old, I say old, it's new, and it's gonna turn old real quick because this movie sucks dingleberries. I'm gonna talk about Atlas.
Yeah, it's not good.
Good old Jenny from the block in her leading role of Atlas. That's her name, by the way.
Don't be fooled by the mechs that she's got.
Oh, nice one. I was trying to think of puns like that, but I didn't think of that one. Good job. I actually like that one a lot.
Jojo didn't.
Ah, boo. So, oh God, this movie is so fucking lame. I'm just reading my notes, what the movie starts with, because we created AI that helps us. And there's this one random AI civilian that was made by Shepard in Robotics, under the watch of I think Val Shepard was her name. That's JLo's mother. It's it was supposed to make life easier, but oh no, this robot managed to reprogram all the robots of the world, and everything went haywire, and the AI started destroying the world and everything. And at this point, I heard there's oh, I bet she or the daughter did anything, any fuckery for this to happen. That's definitely gonna happen. That is happening.
Well,
definitely, that is exactly what is happening. It's the most cookie cutter thingy. Also, yes, again, JLongbone is currently running a little late, but she can join at any time. We don't know. It's gonna be all exciting. But yeah, instantly you gotta think it reprogrammed itself so hard that it overtook all the military stuff that should be.
It
probably
did a Skynet.
It did a Skynet. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, this apparently it was able to hack into military stuff and everything. It's just yep, that's taken everything over. So no emergency shutoff or anything like that to happen. It reprogrammed itself so hard, you couldn't have done anything. I'm going to talk about this more later when it happens, because I think it's really funny how it happens as to why the robot does the thing it is doing in this movie.
The bad robot or the good robot?
Oh, the bad robot.
Ah, okay.
Because we get later we get a flashback. And because he starts scanning stuff or something, it's fucking weird. But yeah, no emergency shutoffs, nothing. It's just all overridden instantly. He just did that like this, no problem. And they dubbed it the first. They dubbed the AI that written everything over, the first AI terrorist, which I just found funny.
I mean, I guess that would make. I think that's fair.
Yeah. But yeah, the Earth is now forced to create the ICN, the International Coalition of Nations, to combat all the robots. And apparently it works really well, and they win. And the big robot is like, "Fuck, I need to go to space." So he fucks off to space somewhere, and then we cut to 28 years later. That's the intro.
28 years later, and the all-encompassing, ultra-powerful AI has not destroyed humanity yet.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I don't understand how you could deal with 28 years of an all-powerful, of Ultron, essentially. An AI that has just been able to reprogram every other AI automaton. By the way, they have humanoid robots that are servants, so it's
They're
kind
really
of an iRobot
too.
situation, except they look like people. They made the iRobot robots, except they're Terminators.
Yeah. Also, I forgot to grab a picture here because the way we cut into the current timeline, because we see Hollywood And the thing is, because it's Netflix, I couldn't take like a screenshot like with my PC. I had to take a screenshot with my phone, like a fucking scrub. Uh, I just need to copy it on my phone from the Discord because I found it really funny how they show the future Hollywood, I guess. Hang on. Copy link. I just need to throw it in here. Sorry, I just completely forgot how to do that earlier. There you go. Now I just need to open this here. Open link. I just love it so much. It's so floopy. Now I need to find the OBS. No, I don't want to play ads. Go away, YouTube. There we go. No, not this. There it is. So we cut to.
I'm just waiting for it.
We cut to future Hollywood. That's what it looks like, chat. that's what they think future Hollywood is gonna look like. Isn't that depressing?
Wow. I'm assuming that's not the same Hollywood sign that they put buildings and stuff on. Have they constructed just new buildings?
No,
made
they
out of
just
the
they
Hollywood letters?
apparently they made buildings that spell out Hollywood, and then you have like
Okay.
another small Hollywood sign on a tunnel, and then welcome to Hollywood. What the fuck is that? That's Hollywood, obviously. It says it right there.
Yeah, it seems like there's definitely not nearly enough technology there that an ultra powerful AI would be able to still mess with humanity after 28 years.
Yeah. So again, to make it clear, the weird coalition of humans, they won basically, and the big AI is, I'm gonna take my spaceship, I'm out of here to a random planet somewhere, and then they haven't seen they've basically been searching for him since, and kind of just been I don't know, trying to find more robots that have information about his whereabouts. It's kind of weird. If kind of weird, it's really stupid. Anyway, that's Hollywood. Isn't that exciting? It's not. So yeah, Hollywood. 28 years later, big buildings that form Hollywood. I couldn't get over that. I stopped the movie there and laughed for like 2 minutes. I just couldn't believe my eyes. I think it was hilarious. Also, the CGI in this movie in general is not fantastic. It looks all pretty fake.
Yeah, I honestly think they probably could have got better action sequences just doing machinima with like Titanfall 2.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
It's actually
like the
funny.
CGI in this movie is not good.
It's funny you mentioned Titanfall 2 because I've read that Titanfall 2 was like an inspiration for the mechs and stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. They like Smith is just discount bargain bin BT.
Yeah. But yeah, they're in Hollywood. There's like a, I don't know, future SWAT team or something. And they're looking for robots that, at this point, you don't even know what's going on, really. You're like, oh, they're just looking for, like, robots that just chill out because they hate robots now. It's like, no, they're looking for the Casca. What was his name? I forgot already.
Yeah, Casca.
Casca, the big bad black robot man.
Actually, whatever. We'll call him Casca.
Yeah.
Just so it doesn't sound the same.
And, yeah, they have, like, all kinds of technology. They can look through walls that can see people, and you can just see through walls basically. It's just very useful technology. I kept that in mind. I don't think there was like a specific point in the movie where it's like, where's that technology? Because they all have like scanners and stuff on their mechs. So good job, you didn't ruin this with seeing through walls thingies for the most part. I don't know. But it's like a bit of crazy technology because they see this one guy sitting. It's like, oh, this one doesn't have a heat signature. And they're like, oh, rotate it. And they take the picture like virtually and they just rotate it. And you can see like the full face somehow. That's something they can do as well. I have no idea how that would work, but they can do that.
I guess casting a sound wave out and then...
Sure.
Reading all the bounces of it, like almost like a sonar thing.
better idea than I have.
Daredevil vision.
Daredevil vision, yeah. But it's like, yeah, we're gonna need to go grab that guy. So they break down the door with a future door breaker thingy or breacher, which works like the ones you know from SWAT teams, but it has like future things on front. It's like glowing blue, but you still have to just fucking knock it against it like it's a normal one. I just found that weird that they made the effort to animate or CGI like blue future goop in front of it. Because I expect him to just kind of hold it on top and press a button and it goes like boom. But no, he just hauls ass and just tries to throw it into the wall. But the black guy comes out and it goes like, big bad robot man.
Yeah,
So,
and
like
again, we're assuming, at least from what they show us later in the movie, especially that they've got a lot of models of each robot. Like because I mean, Casca's just back. Casca is just back. Like when they
No. He's not back. We learn later he was been left here this whole time. He was just hiding for 28 years apparently. So it's even stupider. Even more stupid.
No, but she kills him earlier on.
Oh yeah. He just builds more on this other planet he's on now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you assume they have an army of these things at this point, like she even says that at one point, and they are so much more effective in combat than like people. It's crazy that these people, like, if they do want to eradicate humanity, why can't they just go into a city and just start slaughtering people?
Yeah, I don't know what's taking him so long. Because this whole plan is like everything that's happening in this movie. Basically, by the way, we can jump around. Who gives a fucking shit? This movie sucks dick.
It's not good.
Because
you don't need to worry about spoilers for this.
No, don't watch this movie. Don't give it a click on Netflix. Fuck that shit. Because basically the plan of the big AI, Harlan was his name, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything that you see happen in this movie is like, I wanted that to happen. I needed you back here because
my God, yeah.
needed the bomb to be thrown on Earth, and then everything dies.
They do the, like, when she's sort of like doing this last ditch stand against their like main enemy base, which is insane because she's one mech against the entire defensive force of the enemy army, and this enemy army had just wiped out a battalion of these mechs.
Yeah, she's the only one who's not trained in combat properly, by the way.
Yeah, that's another thing. She's not only not trained in combat, I think for most of this she's not even fully synced with the AI that she's, because that is a big mechanic of the movie. It's her getting to know her AI by opening up to it and letting it like understand her deeply on a human level.
We get into
because actually a good majority of this movie is a girl just talking to a guy about her feelings, kind of chick flick stuff. Like that's a significant amount of the runtime is her in the mech talking to her AI about how crappy her childhood was.
Yeah, it's a very there's no big surprise in this that would like actually surprise you. It's just see, this was all planned. I wanted you to come here, and on the way there's like multiple places where they actively try to kill her easily, and they really need her information specifically. But no, she almost gets fucking crushed by the spaceship. She gets like shot by 4 other robots. So she might not have
made it out of that ship
exactly
if the dude didn't pick her up off the ground and force her into a mech.
Because that thing was.
How could Harlan have known that would happen? The first explosion on the ship could have easily killed her, because it did kill like 10 other people.
Yeah, exactly. As someone said in chat, the Thrawn maneuver. JLongbone has turned invisible. She's gonna pop up hopefully soon. Let me check Twitter, maybe.
JLongbone, don't make us false advertisers.
Don't do it. Let's see. That poor AI. Metal Gear lied to us all. He just put
no.
J in
He's
the title
really he's into it. He's super attentive and listening. He's the best AI boyfriend she could possibly have asked for. All he wants to do is listen to her.
Well, I guess the AI has no choice.
Be sassy with her and
sing.
speak to her the way she speaks.
But yeah, back to where we were. They break down the door with their future door breaching device, which just works like a normal one from this time. But yeah, the robot, the big robot, was waiting for them. Oh no! And just starts fucking killing probably like 15 to 20 of these robot soldiers, which are all human, by the way.
Yeah, like they get sucked into space, and like it's
Wait, no.
it's not like
I'm back in
Oh,
the beginning of the movie.
oh, okay, no, sorry, I thought you were talking about the explosion on the ship.
No. I want to keep some kind of like chronological thing, I guess.
Okay,
But then we
okay.
can just jump whenever it's makes sense. Or
Yeah,
we
it's cool. I
feel
thought
like
we
it.
were still in that scene.
No, it's all
Go
good. It's all good. But yeah, he just gets out there, breathes out. He's surrounded by probably like 50 soldiers. He kills 20 of them. We have like all the classics. Like some of them start shooting at some point, and then at some points they just look at them, and he gets close and punches them to death. At one time he just breaks one of the rifles in half. Like cuts, just kind of breaks it.
Yeah, he's like a cross between like a Terminator and Motoko Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell. Like he moves ultra fast and is incredibly strong.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy to think that humans could beat these things in a war.
Yeah. It's just really funny because he killed a bunch of guys, starts getting shot, kills those guys, but then there's more guys that don't shoot him. There's a lot of soldiers here, is what I'm trying to say. It's kind of nuts. But yeah, he beats all of them up there in front of his door. And he jumps down into basically like a pool of more soldiers. So he's like surrounded by 50
Does a
more.
full-blown superhero landing and
Yeah.
everything with the look up afterwards. It was so lame.
And he doesn't have any guns for himself, so he just kind of holds up his fist like, yeah, let's do this. And then he just gets electrocuted by a device they set up down there. And immediately it's like, did you plan for him to jump down here? Why was his position
Yeah, I
here?
guess they were like, no, he'll kill all the guys we sent up there, but once he jumps down here with the superhero landing, then we'll hit him with the EMP.
Yeah. Instead of, putting it next to the door where they could use it immediately.
I mean, also, like, why aren't there weapons shooting, like, the electric bolt things that take him down? They seem to just disable him immediately.
Yeah, it worked really, really well. It's one of those action scenes like, oh, you're doing all the things that suck. Good job.
Yeah, no, it was like teenager's first action sequence as far as like the writing and staging of it went. It was like, let's do the action movie things.
Yeah.
And you can tick off a lot of boxes there. With, again, like the superhero landing and the look up just made me actually laugh out loud because I'm like, no way you did that.
Yep. Yeah, as I already said, just use some, I don't know, stun batons or EMP guns or something. They have a lot of crazy technology.
Well, that's the thing. Like they've been fighting these things for 28 years. How do they not have weapons that can easily take them down if they're even still alive at this point? Because apparently they have some. Like that was the trap, the like lightning trap thing. That was something that could instantly take down a powerful one.
Yeah.
Why aren't all the weapons designed around that premise? Why don't you just have lightning grenades that are like small ones of the lightning mine thing?
Yeah. Makes you wonder how they won that hard, that the big AI had to go to outer space and they can't even overwhelm this one guy while surprising him, I guess. Well, I guess he wasn't surprised because that was all part of the plan. Ooh.
Yeah, everything's part of the plan in this movie. Simo Liu's AI Harlan is a friggin' genius.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and not only that, he can see through time. It's one of those plans. It's like I knew all of these things would occur exactly the way they did to get specifically you in this room at this exact time, kind of deal.
Yeah.
Because I know you better than you know yourself.
Oh, no.
Like, well, you know what? She doesn't control causality either, okay? So what she knows about what's going down here would not have saved her life in like 80% of these situations. In fact, that she might have... Her having, like, basing everything around her knowledge and knowing what she would do in each situation should probably tell you that it's not likely she'll make it through any of the astromech stuff. Like,
Yeah.
like that will probably get her killed because she doesn't know anything about this.
Yeah. Talking
Not
about
only
her.
that, it's like he says he knows everything about her, and he hasn't talked to her in 28 years.
That's true. Also.
He knew her when she was like 6.
Yeah, and then they had war, and she was doing, I don't know, started going to school or whatever. It's all very nonsense, by the way, if you couldn't tell.
Sorry, Zergu. I know astromechs are like an R2D2 droid. I just meant like a space mech because it's a mech that can be in space.
Yeah.
She begins this quest in space, falling to a planet.
Space. The only place that does not have any capitalism. Get points if you get that reference. Talking about JLo, we're gonna get introduced to our main protagonist now. Ooh, isn't that exciting? I'm very excited.
Atlas Shepard.
Atlas Shepard, Jenny from the block in her big apartment with a big old smart home. That's basically what this is. Because like
She's very lonely.
very lonely. There's like an alarm clock going on. There's like voice, "Good morning, Atlas. It is time to get up." It's like, oh, okay. And then all the doors open up and the windows and stuff. Like, as you would expect. You're just kind of walking around, and then it's like one of these things. Like, what the fuck are we doing? She turns on the television, has like 8 screens running at the same time, and then it's like, turn on the sound, and then you have like 8 different sound things going on with all the news things, and then for some reason one of them is a bit louder, and she's like, oh, mute all except screen 3 or something. It's like, you can't tell me you made that out. Which she didn't, by the way, because she looked over and saw it, I think. So, like, why would you even do this? Like, why would you make it this way? Who does anyone in their right mind goes to the super widescreen, puts on 8 different news channels, turn them all up with the sound, and just let all the information rain upon you?
I could see having them all on mute to be like, I'm just going to get a good sense of what's going on in the world today by just basically looking at the tickers of all these different news channels and seeing what their headlines are and if there seems to be any big story that's going over all of them. But being able to hear them all is insane.
That's a normal way you do it. Like, you have them all on mute.
That would give you a headache.
Because she also looks over and you was like, oh, this looks interesting. What's going on there? Turn on the sound for screen 3 or whatever it was. It's like, yeah.
At any point did they imply that she's like hyper intelligent and is just listening to every single word that every one of them are saying and absorbing them?
We get
like,
to
that's not ever stated though.
We get to
that just what they were trying to show?
Yeah, we get to that.
Oh, hey, J-Mac with the 20 gifted memberships. Thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated. But yeah, it's like one specific window, a screen, and this is where she learns that the big robot has been captured. She's like, oh, now I need to do the thing. And then one of the agents is at the door to come and pick her up. And yeah, as I already said, this robot has been on the run for basically 3 decades, and they just now found him somehow. I don't know how or where he hid, but that's what happened.
They found him in space.
So I just couldn't believe when they did this. They were like, man, we really need to show the audience that she's really smart. And when she woke up, the smart home AI is like, hey, you fell asleep during our chess match. It's your turn. And they start doing they start doing like turns in between all the news things and stuff.
Yeah, she doesn't even look at the board. And she just like says her move
right before, like, she's about to leave, and for some reason that smart AI is like, it's your turn, Atlas. And it's like, oh yeah, it's this, just like something, checkmate, and wins. It's like, won again. And then it flashes up a thing where it says that she won 72 times in a row against the AI. See, she's super smart.
Yeah, like she's the most advanced AI from like the 2040s. Or I guess wait, I mean, is it supposed to be this time that it's 28 years later from?
Yeah,
Do we
this is
get a
28
year?
years later. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
28 years later from 2024.
I guess I
Or
don't know.
like, does
I don't
this
know
take
which
place in the
time we
further
start in.
future? I guess yes, yeah, that might affect the point I was going to make. So maybe I shouldn't say it then.
Yeah, it's
Because the timeline of this movie is not explicitly clear. I don't know when it takes place, unless there was like a year flashed at some point that I just didn't see.
I didn't catch it if it did, but it doesn't really matter because it's also really funny because the AI realized, hey, there's an agent at the door to pick you up. But also when she's about to leave, she's like, hey, you haven't done your turn yet. You don't get to leave otherwise. Like the AI should probably be like, oh, I'm gonna put this on standby so we can play next time when you're back.
Yeah, like she'd be like, no, fuck you. I gotta go to work. I'll play when we get home.
Yeah, the
like,
door is open.
I play a lot of video games. Okay, at no point has one of my video games ever said, wait, you can't go to work because you haven't leveled up yet. I'd be like, fuck you. I'm uninstalling you immediately. You don't talk to me like that. You're my video game.
You still have XP left. You can't leave. So yeah, now that you know that she's really smart and cool and lonely, yeah, I'm into this character. She's really epic and cool. But anyway,
yeah, so Katrina said it's basically the 2050s. So yeah, she can effortlessly beat advanced AI playing chess from the 2050s. Like when it's extremely difficult to beat advanced AI chess. Now, well, it's not really AI; it's just chess programming essentially. But beating high-level computer chess is not an easy thing to do.
No,
because they basically know all of the optimal moves for everything.
But you know what?
But she doesn't even need to look at the board. She knows where the pieces are. She's just like, yeah, king to, or like bishop to knight 4. Oh, looks like that's a checkmate. She's like, yeah, no.
But hey, that's not enough. We need to know that she's on the right path. She knows what's up, because we go to the commander guy or the general or whatever he was, and we have Elias was his name. That's the guy who's gonna we're gonna go to war with, or to the planet. I think it was Elias.
the Sergeant Johnson.
Yeah, and he's basically like, Commander, listen, she's crazy, hostile. No one wants to work with her. Her family was being killed when she was in a young age, which makes her super emotionally unstable. And also, she failed
her psychological profile isn't fit for a mission like this.
Yeah, and she failed her ranger exam 4 times. And then then the general guy is, actually, her fieldwork is flawless. I prefer to call her determined and driven, and I won't abandon her just because she isn't quote-unquote user-friendly. And you won't either, so this conversation never happened, so get back in line. I was like, good God, I hate this character even more now.
Yeah, I don't know. They don't make her very likable at the beginning.
No.
I'm not sure that are they trying to though? That's a good question. I don't know if we're supposed to not like her at the beginning of the movie. It's not very clear based on the way they do it, because it seems like maybe you're supposed to like understand that she's just misunderstood.
Yeah,
but also they portray it in a way that's like, yeah, it actually seems like sending this girl on this mission is a terrible idea. All she has is specialized knowledge, which means if you can get her on a line of communication, that's all you'd need. She doesn't need to be on the planet. Yeah,
that's funny because that's what they do, and it's said by the Elias guy in a little bit. You know what? Actually, it makes a lot of sense for the mission if she's gonna be around. It's like, then what the fuck was this other scene for? You said she sucks and is not good for the mission at all.
All of a sudden, the guy that was against it is like, yeah, now actually I'm convinced, and I would recommend that we do take her. It's like, oh, okay, well that was easy.
It's so awkward, man.
I know when I give my military superiors a bit of sass on one of their decisions, they immediately change their mind and understand that I'm entirely right.
Yeah.
That's how that goes.
Yeah, so it's not looking great. At this point, it was like, oh, so she and the commander guy, they're going to be right at the end. She's going to finish the mission, right? And it's like, yeah, that's exactly what happens. It's not subtle at all. It's like, yeah, she's just misunderstood, and she's gonna save the mission and the world. It's like, okay, yeah.
You can't bring like oh wait what's the McGarnagle? What was the McGarnagle thing? That was from one of the like old TV shows. It was like a spoof detective. I'll just use McBain as the example. It's like McBain doesn't follow the rules. He's a renegade that'll just shoot first and ask questions later, and then the chief will be like, "That's exactly what we need for this." Like it's one of those scenes. It's not convincing at all.
Yeah. But yeah, they brought in the big robot guy in their suitcase and stuff. I was like, hey, the commander talks to JLo. It's like, hey, we found the guy. Do you know what that means? And she's like, then I was right. And I was like, fuck me, dude. This is gonna be pain. It's like so insufferable, especially at the beginning. It's
because of her mental health issues, people weren't taking her seriously, but she's actually awesome.
Yes. But yeah, she's like a more of a consultant position, and what's it called, analyst or something? What did they call her? I wish I would have written it.
Analyst, yeah, I think analyst is what she keeps referring to herself as.
And she's been like doing this the whole time, and she's here to talk to the big suitcase man because that he most likely has the information on which planet the guy is, the Harlan robot they're looking for. And it's kind of funny because they basically disassembled the whole guy and put his head in a big old suitcase, like a future suitcase.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
It kind of just goes, I was like, Atlas, long time no see. Ha 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 ha.
This is just his head.
It's just his head. It's kind of funny.
I liked the prop for this because it opens up in kind of an interesting way and reveals the head. Like that was probably one of the coolest things about this movie was that suitcase.
They just go like back and forth, a bit of blah blah. But the idea is, of course, that she needs to get the information out. This is also where we see like a chess piece that she has in her hand this whole time. And she does like a thing. She puts it like at his ear or something, or at his head in general. It's like, oh, sorry, I had to reset you or something. But he didn't reset. He just kind of went, what is electrocuted. I don't know what they were going for here, but yeah, magnets and magnetics and stuff against machinery, not good, and hard drives and things. That's what they were going for. And then she outsmarts the robot and gets the code. So she outsmarts him by pretending like she found out where the code is, or the not the code, the coordinates for the planet. And she just starts writing something down. And somehow that makes him check if that's true, and that gives her the actual place of the coordinates in the hard drive, which you can now extract and get. And she only scribbled like a little thing that says "fuck you, robot" on it or something. And for some reason he can't look down enough to see that, even though it's like right in front of him. That's what? I don't even know where to begin to make sense of this.
This scene, the thing that I remember the most clearly of it is the "I can't die" thing that it ends with, and I really think that line has serious implications on the entire rest of this movie.
Right.
Because did they kill Harlan? Is Harlan defeated? Is there 10 other Harlans?
There might be 10 other Harlans. Maybe.
Are there thousands of other Harlans that he's just all in because he's an AI that can be linked to other entities and control them? So it's like, well, does his physical body matter? And they don't really address that in the movie at all.
No.
Although, it's what I was saying about here, like this scene ending with her using basically a magnet to fry Casca's brain, and then he's just on the planet also and alive again. So it's like, well, so did killing him matter? Like, you did kill that one, but is it just the same consciousness in another body with the exact same abilities, possibly with some upgrades, like if it's a newer body? So it's like, well, Like the stakes in this movie are very unclear.
It's weird.
And
Yeah.
they act like they're clear. They act like, oh yeah, but when she kills one, it is dead, and it can come back, but that one is still dead, and it's
Yeah.
dead because she got it, and she killed it, and she wins. Shut up, like is what it sounds like to me. I don't understand the rules.
Oh well. Well, they don't go into those rules, so maybe everything was destroyed in the one thing they built up something. I don't know. But yeah, she outsmarts the big robot and is like, haha, I was tricking you. Now I have the coordinates. And then she just fucking kills him. Just kind of puts like the magnet thing in there and just explodes his head, basically. But before she does that, the robot itself is like, I know your flaws. You're distrustful and stuff, and you don't like people. And I was like, okay. And then he shoots a ninja star out of his mouth that they didn't find by disassembling him. But they have a shield, so it's fine. I laughed so hard when that happened.
Yeah, that was really funny.
He just opens his mouth really wide and is like, gah!
He fires a shuriken, and it's vertically oriented.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not the way you would probably want to be firing a shuriken out of your mouth, which would be like, parallel to your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
It's perpendicular to the teeth. So how it even gets out of his mouth is crazy as you're seeing it happen. And then it flies into an energy shield that's right in front of her, because that would make some sense if I think putting a layer of protection between them would be a good idea regardless, but I guess the implication is, did she always know he was going to do that?
Yeah.
Did he think there was a chance that he could have just made that shot and she wouldn't have had any kind of failsafe?
Did she only turn this on like right at the end because she did like physically touch him with the magnet thingy? So maybe it goes only one way or something. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really funny. But they disassembled him completely, but did not check his mouth for weapons or didn't find it or something. I don't know. It's just really weird, but it looks funny. It looks really funny. And yeah, she just destroys the robot head, which I guess is fine. They don't. I would assume he has way more information they could maybe extract or try to extract, but no, this is not talked about. He's just destroyed now, and everyone's like, "We did it! We find Holland's coordinates. High fives all around." It's very cool.
Yeah, Cartoon Man, it would be like a Pez dispenser if the Pez came out lengthwise. It would be a really weird looking Pez dispenser.
That's true. I didn't think about that. So yeah, there's like, hooray, we got the coordinates. Time to do the mission. But the commander's like, well, the mission changed. We need to get him alive, actually, because they want to backtrack his code because he's such a cool and epic new AI technology. So it's gonna be
it's like
cool
they
to
flat
see
out
what
have like an
happens.
aliens explanation where it's like, no, we need to study it.
Yeah. And then JLo is like, if you do that, you will not come back alive. And also, I'm the only reason you have this info. I need to go on this mission too because
finders' rights, finders' rights generally don't apply to military strategy.
Especially if you failed your ranger exam 4 fucking times.
Yeah, I guess this informant brought us this information, so it's only fair if we drop him in on SEAL Team 6.
Exactly.
Osama bin Laden, and it's like, well, wait, no, they wouldn't. Like, they flat out would not do that. It's silly to think they would.
Yeah. And then
actually, I just realized how good of an example that was. Like in the movie in Zero Dark 30, if Jessica Chastain just dropped in with the SEALs, that would be ridiculous in that film. You'd be like, what? Wait, why? Why is she going in with them? There's no reason at all. It's like, well, she brought them the information, so it's only fair. It's like, how do you think the military works, man?
Yeah. And it's during that time, the Elias man, he comes through. I call him Elias. I think that's the right name. For some reason, I've written it down later.
That sounds right to me, too.
Yeah, Elias, there it is. Okay. For some reason, I didn't write it down at first, but later. So yeah, there you He's like, yeah, you're annoyed by this, I know, but here, let me show you something. We got like cool stuff that helps us with this mission. And it's like, here, look, you wanted some coffee. Oh yeah, there's like this thing where she really likes coffee, like Americano, like a quad Americano.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Americano like a super light coffee? I think I tried one before and it was like basically water.
It's espresso. It's espresso and water. So it's basically like a cappuccino, but instead of filling it with, or like a latte, but instead of filling it with milk, you just fill it up with more water, so that it takes you longer to drink essentially, but it's still just however many shots of espresso you make. Generally, you don't put milk in it. So her saying that she likes black coffee is appropriate for an Americano being her drink. But she does say that she likes 3, sometimes 4 sugars, and that's a bit weird to put in an Americano, I think, at least.
Because I had an Americano once and it was like, tastes basically like nothing. Because I actually like strong coffee, and not she's like, I want some strong coffee, a quad Americano. It's like, is that just whatever? Sounds like a normal coffee.
Well, I guess that would be an Americano with 4 shots of espresso.
Oh, okay. Maybe just have a coffee at that point. If you just fill it up with water after, just take a normal coffee. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it's the process that's maybe like espresso is a bit different than like percolated coffee, you know?
I know, it's obviously preference, but I just found it weird. Just from my experience with Americano, that's why I was thinking about that.
I'm constantly getting reminded of Twin Peaks. There was a fish in the percolator. They just like first episode, they serve the FBI agent coffee, and then he comes back. He's like, "Oh, don't drink that coffee, boys. There was a fish in the percolator." But they both already drank it. They're like, "Oh, that's why this is disgusting." It's got a lot of thematic significance, though.
German chat, I bet you like
David
beer
Lynch
above
is a weird
6
guy.
degrees alcohol. 6 degrees alcohol? Yes. I like strong beer skis. Not all of them. There's some bad ones.
There's in high school, or not high school, I guess, mostly university, I suppose. But I was legal drinking age at the end of high school, which is why we had 5 years of high school in Canada, and our legal drinking age is 19.
It's fine. Nobody's going to snitch on you.
I'm saying
anyway.
that's why that happened, because some people saying that you were legal drinking age in high school, they might think I've been in high school since I was 21 or until I was 21, but that's not the case in Canada. Though we did have 5 years of high school, not 4 in our province. But we had this thing called James Ready 5.5, which was one of the, as we would call them, bucka beers, where you get 24 beers for $24.
Right.
And James Ready was one that basically tasted like Moosehead, because I think they were, which is another Canadian beer, because they were basically made by the same company, but it was way cheaper and had more alcohol in it.
Well, there's some fine, cheap beers that you can drink for sure.
Yeah. Well, I imagine the cheap beers in Germany are probably better than ours. Come to think of it.
Yeah. So now we get some technical things in this movie that are really weird, because we are getting introduced to the ARC suit.
Yes.
The Eli's like, look, we got ARC suit here. You wanted a coffee, and the suit brings her a coffee. And she's like, well, I've seen an ARC suit before. That's not too crazy. He's like, but yeah, see, we got this. We got the Neuralink stuff. And she's like, that's the thing that was ruled out and made forbidden technology, because that was the reason everything went to shit. And that's why we didn't take it. And he's like, well, we can still use it for good and stuff. So we're going to use this to beat up the big Holland guy when we get to the planet.
Off the bat, I was like, you're kidding, right?
Yeah.
You guys are using Neuralinks when you're going up against a fucking AI?
Yeah.
An AI enemy. And you're connecting a computer to your brain.
Yeah. Oh,
you're out of your mind.
Yeah, it's like,
this is the worst military ever, I'm telling you.
Yeah, maybe don't use hackable stuff when you go up against an AI that hacked you and tried to destroy all of Earth 30 years ago.
And somehow did not succeed, which is the craziest thing.
Yeah. Like, you probably want to roll up with some, like normal tanks that we have today, like, mechanical weaponry. That should probably help you quite a bit. That's just my idea.
He can instantly and immediately control any human that's wearing a Neuralink.
Yeah.
We find this out. Like, flat out, I mean, controlling their body movements, so he can make them fire a gun. So realistically, the second he had control, he could have just jacked into any human who happened to be wearing a Neuralink at the time and just had an army.
Yep.
But didn't
Nope.
because 28 years needed to pass so that J-Lo could no longer be 7 or something like.
Yep. So yeah, that's already super fucking stupid. And she even points that out later in their briefings. Like, you probably don't want to do this with this. Like, yeah, whatever. You idiot. Look at this person that knows this stuff. So yeah, that's already like their plan is fucking retarded. That's what it is. It's really fucking stupid. And then we get to this weird cringy part that I don't even know why this is in here. Like, this is even weird if we just go with like pandering or something. So we have this thing, the ARC bot called Zoe, and JLo calls it id. It's like, oh no, and the bot just says, "Oh, I'm not id. My pronouns are she and her." And I'm like, what? Why did the robot say that?
I mean,
What? Why the robot? Why did the robot say that?
I guess it's a little appropriate in the sense that the robot is trying to assert some humanity being called it.
I guess, but
I guess I understand how they could work it in this context. It's just a little cringe that she brought it up as pronouns specifically and didn't just say, actually, I prefer to go by she than it. It sounds kind of shitty, you know?
but there is problems
Especially because they're
with her
supposed to be
saying
making
that.
them like very colloquial and human sounding. I think just saying like, I'm not an it, I'm a girl would have been totally fine,
Maybe,
you know?
but the thing is, it doesn't make sense in the context as we learn how the arc suit works, because the arc suit takes over the language you use, like the sentences and quips and stuff. The robot starts using that, and Zoe is the robot of Elias, who does not sound like that at all.
Yeah.
Because
that's true.
The arc bot he should have had is probably like a military thing that goes like by protocols, like proper and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Why was Elias's mech like also like a sassy girl? That is a bit strange.
Yeah. And the weirdest part is, no one fucking reacts to it anyway. She says it, and no one even looks at the fucking robot. It's just throws it into the ether, and they just move on. So I don't know why this is in here. It's like it doesn't make any sense from any angle.
I mean, yeah, like that's where that stuff kind of becomes annoying when it's like, okay, well, like why did you need to put that line in the way it was written? And the answer is so the people on my side would clap. And you know, I mean, fair enough.
Also, this would also imply that there's robots or arc suits that go like, oh shit, do they think they're like human? Like, do they think they're human? Is this like a thing that comes up in this movie? It's like, no, not really. Never happens again.
I mean, yeah, though they do think they have personalities.
They do think they have personalities.
Like, they do actually, I guess, kind of go into the whole like, does an AI have a soul?
Oh yeah, I guess they pretend like they talked about this. Yeah, right. I guess there's this 2 minutes where they, what do you think is purpose or something? It's like, whatever. You're not ready for this.
I mean, like it's a very basic a sci-fi like robot artificial intelligence question to pose, and they don't really do much with
well,
it.
Yeah, they both go like, this is my opinion and this is mine. Anyway, moving on. It's like, oh, that's you talk about this. Okay. This is really, really lame. It definitely feels like, oh, we need to at least address it. You know, it's like, just a little sentence or two about it, and then we can tick that box and we're done. So yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, they don't go into it in very much depth.
Your purpose is to pass the butter. Oh my god. Oh, I remember when Rick and Morty was good.
Oh my god. that was a pretty good scene.
Mm-hmm.
What is my purpose?
So yeah, this was all weird and out of place. Anyway, Elias now, remember how Elias complained about her being unfit for the mission? He now says, well, from a technical standpoint, she actually should be on the mission because she has all the information about Harlan, so that makes sense. And she goes on the mission. That was like 3 minutes ago, I think, in the movie. Maybe let it be 5. It wasn't long ago. And he's like, actually, it makes sense. So, yeah, come on in. You're going with us on the mission. So the point of that whole thing before was kind of like fucking useless. If you would have brought, you can still bring that up that no one wants to make missions, and you could have you could have gone with Elias saying like, oh, I'm not really thrilled about her being on the mission, but she has like a lot of information that could be of tactical use for this operation. So we're definitely going to take her with us.
I don't get what was stopping her from being like a Metal Gear Solid codec call person. You know, she's just an expert on one aspect of the mission, and she's an information expert. So you could tell her what's going on. She could think about it based on what she knows about Harlan, call you back and tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
And it would have worked probably a lot better.
Yeah. And as in chat has pointed out, and as you already pointed out as well, Mark, is like, oh, she has all the information about Harlan who hasn't been here in 28 years.
Yeah, she has no idea how he's evolved, and he's a learning AI, by the way.
Yeah, because it's not it's not like they put it where like, oh, I've been working with these robots for a long time, so I kind of know how they tick and have an idea how this might gonna go out of the way. I'm pretty sure she specifically says, I know how he works. Like I've lived with him and stuff. It's like, yeah, but you were like 6 when that happened, or 12.
She spent her childhood with him as like the butler of the home, essentially. Like he was basically her robot brother, essentially.
Yeah.
And she hasn't seen him in 28 years. And they make it very clear that these AI learn very quickly. So it's like, well, if he's constantly been learning new shit for 28 years and he's a person who can master a new skill in like 10 seconds, then do you know him? Do you know how he thinks? Have his strategies not evolved? And it's just because she played against him in chess a bunch when they were kids.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all. It's all gonna be nonsense. It sucks. Where was I? Oh yeah, that's it. They're going to the mission now. They're doing a little mission now. They're going to the weird planet thingy in was the Orion system?
Andromeda.
Was it Andromeda system?
Yeah, I remember because I specifically thought, I was like, okay, that's fitting because Mass Effect Andromeda kind of sucked. So there's a little joke I had with me.
I didn't write it down because I Googled because I was curious how far away they would be. Because I wanted to know how crazy is their lightspeed technology, but they can basically teleport. I think.
Yeah, like I mean, they got to Andromeda in what seemed to be like the next day.
Yeah,
there doesn't seem to be any time passing.
And I think if we just go by only light years, I think it would still take like 1.5 million years to get to the Andromeda system.
And I mean, like, yeah, realistically, also, if they said something like that, that would make a hell of a lot more sense why she like does know how to use a mech if she was just like training on the ship that entire time.
That would have been time well used. We can't have that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess to be fair, a little bit, it wasn't planned for her to actually be in a mech.
Yeah,
I think the plan was to actually have her on board, just to be on
but
call.
I meant
as you
if
said.
that was, but they did cite that as one of the reasons why she might be a problem on the mission. It's like she failed her ranger test, so it's like, well, how about she's working on it the entire time, so that at least when she does start fighting later on in the movie, we can believe that she's not just instantly getting killed.
Yeah.
But no, they just teleport there.
Yeah, so they're on their way. Oh yeah, also to point out, so we have like crazy technology. The coalition of human flimflammery, they have built a shield around Earth, like a energy shield, completely around Earth, like a big fucking energy shield. There's only like a couple of points where you can fly in and out, and you need like codes to get in and out. So we got some crazy technology going on. Like we're very advanced here. So yeah, they're off to the planet that Harlan is on, and they have a little briefing. I'm just cringing. Sorry. They have the briefing, and all the random soldiers, and they're like, ugh, not her, not the crazy lady. Ugh.
Geez, Snakes just said Andromeda's 2.5 million light years away.
Yeah. It's not.
By the way,
close.
that means that if you're traveling at light speed, at the speed of light, it would take you 2.5 million years to get there. Everybody.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny because in the bigger scope of the universe, light speed is like slow as fuck.
Yeah,
It's very slow.
in the context of the cosmos, light speed actually is super slow.
Yeah, you still need like things are very far away.
And we're talking the amount of time it takes an image to get from a screen to your eye. That is light speed.
So she does a little little briefing, and all sorts like annoying, and she's like, take off your Neuralinks, like there's nothing, there's no AI or computer that is safe from being hacked, not even your arcs. She makes a point of that. It's very, not even your arcs are safe.
She says it. Says it out loud, and
and I'm really like, why? How has no one considered this before? Why does she needs to tell them this?
How is she? And like she's telling them this as if it's not something anyone's considered.
Yeah.
So I was just like, wait, do they? Like, yeah, like is this the dumbest idea ever? Going into like fighting this enemy with these weapons, and they don't really address my question there. By the way.
They're not making like any kind of effort where they're like, oh, don't worry, our arcs are better shielded against hacking attacks from outside. We've been doing simulations for, fucking 30 years, so that doesn't happen anymore.
Okay.
But no.
And what have they been working on?
And it goes even further. She just points out to them, it's like, well, we don't even know what Holland's capabilities are right now. Like, we don't know if he has an army or anything. So they're basically going in blind and taking with them their only weakness that they know almost killed the whole universe, the whole Earth. So yeah, that's a fantastic plan, guys.
Like, they
very good.
Easily could have just dropped these people in and just gotten a battalion of mechs to use against Earth.
Yeah,
with codes and stuff like that, because they can read their minds, by the way, too. Like once they jack into your brain, they can know everything you know. So. Like any one of these people that has the codes to get by Earth's security would be horrendous to have in enemy hands. And they just send a bunch of them.
Yeah. And that's basically the whole briefing she does. Like nothing she says should be any info to them. Like there's nothing. She didn't say anything about Holland. She didn't say that, oh, we have an approximate fighting power down there. We could use strategy XYZ. There's a possible weakness.
Nothing about the way he thinks, not even his basic psychological profile that she is apparently the expert of, even though she's not seen him in 30 years. But, like, it's so weird. Like, this movie's just so strange.
Yeah.
It seems like they're just doing that so they could have the scene that's Ripley briefing the Space Marines and Aliens.
Yeah.
Because it was basically that scene just shitty.
Yeah, it was all she told them is, oh, Neuralinks have been used by Harlan to override shit, and, also, she also tells him the weather down there is bad, so that's you can't brief down there, so you need little mechs and stuff.
Just one of these things managed to take out my entire crew. Like, I mean, it's that scene, you know, and then like Elias kind of gives her a talking to afterwards, saying like, why did you you just rattled a bunch of them and they're about to do a combat drop. It's like, why did you get her to talk to them prior to 15 minutes before their drop? Like, why is this the first briefing they're getting on Harlan? Yeah. From the expert on Harlan. Oh my god.
What's also funny is
thinking about it just makes me more upset.
She goes out of her way to like print out the whole briefing, which looks like a very thick stack of briefing papers, and she says like 3 things, and all she gets from the soldiers is like, where'd you even find a printer? It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And then but the thing is, she also asserts a rule that they then completely disregard. Like, she's like, there will be no digital briefings during this mission. We were not going to be using any tech, essentially. We're doing this Luddite style. And they're like, yeah, we're all wearing Neuralinks and going into battle in, like, big mecha. So,
yeah.
No.
Like, it doesn't even matter if they pull out their Neuralinks now, what they do. It's like, not even your arcs get to know these things. But we learn like, very soon, as soon as you put this on and you sync with your mech, they know everything you know. It's not like you can really hide it that well.
Yeah, well, but that's the thing. It's like, wait, no, like, why hasn't she addressed this aspect of the mission long before now? Because this is probably the kind of information that honestly would be most valuable. It's like, no, if you guys want to be able to not get compromised immediately when we land on that planet, you need to learn to control your suits without neurolinking with them.
Yeah.
So therefore, we probably need a few months of training. Like, and this is happening. She's telling them this 15 minutes before go time.
Yeah.
It's so strange.
It's really funny because they make such a big deal of Neuralink, but we've seen that this whole fucking thing also just works with voice commands, it seems. So I don't even know what the fuck the point is with all the Neuralink stuff. The mech still works even if you're not linked up, but apparently it's like working
you
best
can basically
if you do.
give it voice commands. It's just you can't directly link with its brain, therefore you can't control it as if it's your own body.
Yeah.
But you do also, because to pilot it around, you also have to walk. So there's mechanical things that are letting you control it like your own body, but I guess there's lag or something. That's probably the only thing that makes some sense. There's lag between your physical commands and what the mech's doing. Whereas if you're Neuralink, then you would be synced up in a way that would be much more effective. But they don't really go into the details. They're just
No.
like, we're only 89% linked. We're not going to be as effective. And it's like, okay, what does that mean though? We become one being.
The weird part is they can
okay.
also just run like autonomously. So can I just tell them, it's like, hey, go to fighting mode and beat up all these guys for me? Okay, I'm just gonna sit back and relax and watch the show.
Yeah, like I'm just going to hang out here. Please try to not die.
Yeah.
Like, but we need to kill these people, so could you just kill them? Probably would be the command you'd give it, and that would be just as good as their justification for needing the Neuralink, which is that the only way it can be most combat effective is combining J-Lo's analytical mind with Smith is her AI, by the way, Smith's combat skills.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, I think his combat skills are probably the more important aspect of that.
Yes.
And realistically, if she's figuring shit out by looking around, she can still tell him stuff because he can still hear and he can still do the thing. Like she can still be giving him live intelligence and advice. It's just because they're not synced up brain to brain, it won't be as good. And like, this movie's very weird. It's just not a lot of it seems like they thought it through.
No.
And what I just said there is most of what the movie's about. Them linking together, them trying to find synchronization. Oh, and by the way, she doesn't put the Neuralink on, so they don't even start this process until like an hour.
Yeah, because she doesn't like.
And it's
the
2 hours
Neuralink.
long, by the way. This isn't a 90-minute movie.
Oh, I wish it would be. God, that would be nice. Yeah, right after the briefing, as you already alluded to, Eliza's like, "Oh, don't rile them up that way right in front of the mission. We got everything under control, and we know what we're up against." And then they instantly get fucking wrecked by orbital artillery.
Well, like her question then should be like, so why am I here? I just told you the main that you're sending them into battle with a device implanted into them that could doom them to death immediately.
Yep.
And you're just being like, why would you tell them something like that right before they're about to be stressed out? It's like, well, I mean, what is my role here then, if not to analyze the enemy and your capabilities and give you information based on that as the analyst?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the ship gets fucking wrecked immediately. She almost dies. The only reason she survives here is because Elias is already in this arc. And it's like, oh, she needs help. Let me put her in this other random arc that we have extra, I guess, or is now free. And just kind of drop her into orbit or onto the ground and hope for the best. And she almost like dies like 3 times on the way down. And I'm pretty sure she gets one lady killed because she refuses to put on the Neuralink so they can maneuver together. So that's very cool.
Yeah. That was super awesome of her to just kill that lady that saved her, by the way. Like she was about to die, and the lady already saved her life. And in the process of her trying to save both their lives, she's like, you need to put on that Neuralink or we're both going to die. And she's like, no,
I'm traumatized. I don't want to live anymore. Not if I have to put this thing on.
Then they break apart from the little like docking thing that they do together.
Yeah.
And then the lady who is trying to help her dies, and she lives, and the movie does progress to her eventually putting the Neuralink on. So that lady died for nothing.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all very cool. She tumbles to the ground, and it's never mentioned a reference after that scene, right? Wait, what now? That she got someone killed? No, of course not.
No. Yeah, they don't address it. Oh, no, they do, but it's not targeted at that one lady.
No.
It's the other running theme this movie presents, which is respect for fallen soldiers.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that's fine, and if it would be in another movie, because
Yeah.
it seems kind of
A movie
shoehorned in here.
for it to seem respectful and tasteful, you do kind of have to have the thing around it be worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they say the words "peace to the fallen" a whole lot in this movie. In the back half of it, at least.
They were.
And yeah, Tenebrae, the way it is, the way it's filmed, it very much seems as if they are docking.
Mm-hmm.
Like little poles, like square.
I winced a little bit when the
metal rods extend from their abdomen area, and they go into each other, and then lock them together in a beautiful gay love.
Dude, I just thought the comedic timing of JLongbone would have joined right now. If he would have said that, would have been fantastic. But
yeah,
sometimes it's just not meant to be.
But we don't know where Jay is right now. I think she might still be asleep because she hasn't seen any of our Discord messages from this morning. But yeah, we're hoping she'll join soon. She has the call, so she might join at any point or not at all. We don't know.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. So yeah, she tumbles to the ground. She's obviously only unconscious. She gets a bit, I don't know, knocked around, but wakes up.
Oh wait, no. This is almost this. I'd say this one is Madam Web tier ridiculous because she doesn't just get knocked around. She lands on the ground in this this mech. Sorry, I won't say astromech anymore. This mech falling from space, and hits her head, which breaks skin because she then is like kind of bleeding from that spot. She's dead, everybody. Like I'm sorry, there's no way she's living through that hit. But yeah, she's just kind of fine afterwards. Doesn't even seem like she has a concussion.
Concussions don't apply to main protagonists. I'm sorry. Fucking cable, go away.
Yeah, she like with the way she was moving though, and the way she hit. It seems like these things are designed terribly because why would it be possible for her to hit her head like that if she's strapped in? And yeah, she hits her head really hard. She would probably have just cracked her skull wide open. It would not have gone well.
No. No. Oh, sorry. Yeah, she wakes up. Everybody is basically gone. She doesn't know if anyone is alive. By the way, no one is except Elias. So yeah, all the combat trained ARC soldiers, they all died. But we learn a little bit later because she wakes up. I think Smith is waking her up here at some point as well. I think that's when he starts being in the movie. Where's I just got lost in my notes. Yeah, she got the lady killed.
First appearance of Simu Lou Smith.
Right.
In real time, at least, not in footage.
Oh, there's where I was. Okay, sorry. So it seems to be possible to use voice commands with this machine. That seems to work.
But what's weird is they don't make that immediately clear. Like, it seems to be that the only way she can control it is with the Neuralink, and the person saying, "In Neuralink not detected. Neuralink not detected. Landing in 10." Not like it's like doing the countdown thing.
Yeah.
And all she's saying is like, "Fire the thrusters. Fire them.
Yeah.
Fire them." And it's like, wait, lady, how many times are you gonna say that with the thing not responding to you before you're thinking, okay, maybe this thing isn't voice controlled at all?
Yeah.
Like, imagine your mom trying to do voice commands on like an old computer from like the 90s.
Yeah.
Just being like, "Open Windows." It's one of those situations that I was picturing.
Where it
I
was
like,
really,
wow,
it was like a really shit still. Open Windows.
I would like to use Microsoft Word. She's like, Mom, it doesn't respond to voice commands. Then why is there a microphone?
Yeah. Oh, I just got a message on Twitter. Oh, I think she might be coming up here in a sec.
Yay.
Just join whenever.
But yeah, so the voice commands do eventually work, but only at the last second, kind of beyond when they say it's like the critical point of like you'll not be able to stop the momentum necessary in order to not die.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, "Well, fire the thrusters," and it's like, "Oh, okay." Fires them at the last second. It's like, wait, why wasn't it listening to her before then? Why did it just start now?
Oh, it does it all the time before she starts using the Neuralinks. Just like, oh, do the thing. No, I don't know. Should I? It's like, you do the thing now. Like at some point, she even. Like,
I don't know if we should really though. You don't have your Neuralink on.
Yeah.
It's like no. Like you're telling me I'm gonna die if I don't fire the thrusters soon. So
Yeah.
tell you what, why don't you take some initiative? Just fire the fucking thrusters, man. What are you doing? Your primary directive is to keep me alive.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. It's like why would he let her not fire the thrusters in time?
I don't know.
He'd be like, "Oh, okay, your Neuralink's not on and we're falling. I need to keep you alive because that's my prime directive.
But
So
not like
I'm just
this,
gonna take
so
care of this."
Guess I'll die.
Yeah, I guess I'll die if you don't put the thing on.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the first thing she does is, and this confused me throughout the whole movie. She's like, scan for a rescue pod, and I was like, what rescue pod? Why would there a rescue pod on this planet? Did you shoot that down earlier? What is that? And at some point, I was like, oh, is it like on the ship? And then we see the scan. It's like, no, it's clearly next to the ship somewhere. So I don't even know what the fuck that rescue pod is supposed to be.
Yeah, they never tell you what it does. I don't know if it's like if it's supplies, so just they can survive there for longer, and like a little beacon they can press to say, hey, like send out an SOS. It could be a pod that you get into and just launches you back up into space. I mean, they seem to think that like it's like the extraction point. Like you get there and you're fine, you're safe. Like that's the way they treat it in the movie. It's not really explained beyond, oh well, I mean the rescue pod's over here, so we got to get there if we want to keep you alive. And then they introduce some elements that really begin to anger me. The time limit.
There's still some technical stuff that's really stupid here as well.
Okay. Go for it.
Because she scans for the rescue pod and it's like 91 kilometers away or miles or something, and she's like, oh well, let's go there. And then the thing starts doing a leap, and he's like, no, the drones are gonna see us that way and shoot us down. And like goes back down. It's like, we have to go by foot, so we're not gonna get seen. It's like, okay, so now scan the terrain up until the thing we need to go to. It's like, that is not possible. I can only scan terrain for 32 miles or something. And I was like, motherfucker, you just showed me a scan of where the rescue pod is, where I could clearly see the terrain. So you're lying to me right now, right?
Yeah, I guess, I don't know, maybe it's like a more specific graphing of terrain at 32 kilometer range. I don't know, like, but you're right. That is what they're showing on screen when they're saying he can't map terrain.
The thing is, if you can already tell where this pod is, you can at least take like the straight line. It's like, oh, we should probably go in that direction, and then you can scan in the meantime the 32 miles.
Be like, okay, yeah, 32 kilometers away, we're coming up on a mountain. I'm gonna try to find a way around it.
Yeah,
within the next 32 kilometers.
Exactly. I think the arc thing could do this.
And they're 98 kilometers away from their destination too. So it's a distance, but depending on how fast these things move, might not be that far. Like that's an hour at highway speeds.
Yeah. But this thing does not go in highway speeds, I think.
No, that's true, but they don't really give you a good idea how fast it does move, and also knowing that it might not be an as the crow flies route that you get.
Mm-hmm.
And then they introduce the time element because her, what was it, like her fusion core or something like that? Fusion cell? They call it something like that. But it gets damaged. So she's only got 22 hours basically to live.
Yeah.
And she has to make it back to the rescue pod by then. And, oh God, the dog tag scene. The dog tag scene being after the time element is introduced infuriated me.
Let's see. Yeah, we just totally. Oh yeah, it's weird because she scans for this random pod that I don't know where it's coming from, but she's not scanning for like for the crash or for the survivors or anything. Like,
clearly not for enemies.
No. But she still refuses to use the Neuralink. But again, like it seems like that's fine because it seems to work with the with voice activation. Like you can tell the machine.
Yeah. Once it has started responding to her voice commands that it decided to do after it almost killed her in the crash landing, it seems to just work perfectly. Like he's just doing everything that she tells him to.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's like the AI is sometimes really smart, but sometimes really stupid. Like the whole like starting to thrust us for this big jump. Like do you not scan the area for like drones before? Like wouldn't the Arc thing do that? And it's like, oh no, it's safe here. We can do this one jump and then scan again if there's enemies around. Something along those lines. Like this is a combat fucking mech.
And the mech doesn't even consider that doing big, huge jumps might put them on the enemy radar.
Yeah.
It doesn't think about that for a second. It's just about to start doing it. And she has to be like, no, wait. The enemies will be able to see us if we're like jumping through the sky. As he's like, oh, you're right.
Yeah, it seems like
wait,
they put her.
How smart are you?
Well, at this point, I just have to assume they put her in like a factory new Arc machine.
Yeah, it's like
that has like no information whatsoever.
He got factory reset or something. He doesn't really know anything about anything.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's fucking stupid. But yeah, there's like it's really funny because there's like an introduction that starts that tells her how the Arc works, and just like, oh man, I don't know, because she only says she doesn't know shit about this thing. And it's like, skip it, everything, skip. And then just...
Yeah, she doesn't want to do any of the tutorials, and she has no idea how to use this. By the way, this is not a video game. This is a giant piece of war machine.
Yeah, exactly.
That she's inside of, stranded on an alien planet, with no viable means of escape, except for using this thing to get her safely across a war zone.
Yeah, but don't worry, she just keeps randomly figuring things out. Like I'm pretty sure at some point she presses some buttons that she needed to press to turn it on or something. And I was like, oh, I guess that was lucky. But yeah, she just skips all the introductions and keeps complaining that the bot didn't tell her anything. It's yeah, and then we see there's like, oh man, I'm not gonna advise you to do the walkings. That's gonna take too long or something. And then we see like a real. I find this design so stupid. So you have to physically strap in your feet into like a thing on the floor that like straps into your feet, and then you do a physical walking animation like yourself. So the robot also walks, and it looks like it's really exhausting to do. Like at some point she just stops and holds herself. I was like, oh man, that's exhausting. It's like, what the? Why would you design a combat mech like this?
Yeah, especially where it almost seems like she's trying to pull the legs, as if it's not like an interface that's controlling a computer system. It's her connected to it via these boots, moving the actual big mechanical leg. So it seems like it's heavy, and she's having to exert a lot of muscle force in order to even lift her leg at first. And then eventually it's just like totally easy to walk around. So I don't know. Like that's... I couldn't tell you how these mechs work, man.
Yeah, because at first like, oh, is it because she's not using a Neuralink maybe, but later she just does voice commands again. Like sometimes she doesn't do it, sometimes she does it. It's really weird. It's really inconsistent in how it's supposed to work. Like how
it just seems like there was nothing stopping her from just saying, "Hey, tell you what, we're gonna do this differently. I'm not gonna be your pilot. I'm just gonna be your officer. I'm gonna give you orders. I'm gonna tell you what to do." and you're going to follow them. Okay. And I want you to act independently. I want you to be as creative as you can be based on your combat knowledge to get us through these situations safely. But I'll always be here giving you strategies.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like with the AI, it seems like it would have been cool enough to be like, yeah, actually, that sounds pretty good. Because it does seem to be amicable to her good suggestions.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand why she didn't think of that. Because it's like anytime she's trying to pilot it on her own, it's like, well, it's not, it doesn't seem like it's very efficient.
Because the fucking robot does like crazy cartwheels and backflips at some point. It's like, you're not doing this with your little feet thingy that you'd use there. You're not physically jumping in this thing. So there's definitely some...
Yeah, you don't have like one of those gyroscope rigs where you can do all sorts of crazy moves.
Yeah, just keeps refusing using Neuralink and even overwrites it with some passcode in the thing. It's like, oh, okay, you can do this now. And skips the introduction. Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah, so she walks around. She gets to the Ranger drop point where the people were supposed to drop. And yeah, everybody got fucking wrecked and killed. Womp, womp, womp. And then she has like a mild breakdown and starts collecting the dog tags. And it's like, it's played like so seriously. And the thing is, in isolation, I don't even mind this this scene. It's like, oh, that's like a nice
right
thing.
After you set a time limit on the scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the thing. I'm just like, hey, man, like, it's a respectful thing to do, but you don't have time to do this right now if you want to accomplish this mission and get home. You're not bringing those dog tags to anyone if you die. Okay? Like, you don't have the time. If it's like, I have 22 hours to travel 100 kilometers over terrain which might be filled with enemies and environmental hazards, I'm sorry, I don't have time to collect 1,000 dog tags. Slowly. It's not like he was like, okay, I'll engage my super thrusters and do it ultra fast and just spins around the battlefield and gets them all. It's they're walking to each individual mech, opening it up, grabbing the person, taking the dog tags off, and storing them inside her mech.
Yeah, it's probably like 30, 40. It looks like there's a lot of them in the little storage thing they have.
Because like ultimately, if you die before you finish the job, you're not honoring them as much as if you would have just completed their mission. You know, like focus on that maybe.
Yeah. Especially the ending where just all the reinforcements arrives at the end. You could have done it like, hey, yo, now that we have the time here, that's all the dead men over there. Maybe go pick them up. Would have done the same.
Yeah.
Would have done the same in the end. So yeah.
And then like the whole rest of the thing is about her tagging the location. Tag this location and say, yeah, we have a bunch of fallen soldiers here.
Yeah.
So whenever it's safe, we should send a sortie down to go get their tags and send them home to their families. When it's safe is the important part of that, though. Oh, God, it's so bad.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, honestly, it would have been better if they made a joke out of it or, like, made kind of a little crack where if they found out about the fusion reactor or something, or the fusion reactor gets damaged a little later, and then the time limit comes up after they find all the bodies, I would have been okay with that. Because then they could be like, well, I mean, I guess... we spent a lot of time collecting dog tags, but I guess we gotta get on this mission at this point now. And then they take it seriously. That would have been better. But this is after they know that they've got a ticking clock. They decide to take what must have been 3 hours.
Yeah,
based on how many they got and how slowly they were moving, I'd say like that was at least 3 hours of work they were doing in the middle of their like ticking clock doomsday scenario.
Yeah, seems like a little bit of a waste. I feel like the AI would have actually advised against that. It's like, we don't actually have the time, you know? It's like, oh.
Yeah, it'd be like, you know, like seriously, we don't have time for this. I've tagged it. I've sent off an SOS. There will be another group coming to collect the bodies and give them proper burials, but we've got a mission right now. We don't have time for this.
No.
We don't. Not only that, it leaves us very exposed. Because, I mean, why would you assume that there's no enemies coming back to that battlefield at any point to scavenge?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you might have had 10 minutes before that place was crawling with enemies.
Well, the enemies are actually arriving.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Because they see some foot soldiers. Uh, this is funny because they see a bunch of soldiers. One of them, Casca, the one she killed on Earth, and it's just so funny. Like there's like, if he can make him again, he can probably make a whole army of soldiers. It's like, that's what made you think that? Not all the fucking orbital artillery that shot you out of all the fucking space, and all the droids that started shooting down all the mechs that you just took. It's the the random foot soldiers you see. That's what ticked you off, that he couldn't make an army. It's like, okay, I feel like you could have come to that.
She was bothered by it was a guy that she recognized.
Yeah, not all the anti-air and stuff that could. Because an army doesn't need to be only foot soldiers. You're working against an AI, so he probably has like a lot of drones and bots, which he does, but we don't really see that many. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, they stopped fighting after that first battle.
It's so she's like, it's just so annoying because the bot is like, okay, you're surrounded, you have to fight, and she's like, I can't fight all those foot soldiers. And she just kind of runs away for a while, and she gets hit by all the fire it doesn't seem to be doing any damage, but she doesn't even realize that, so it just runs away.
God, yeah, the amount of damage that Smith takes is also like very inconsistent. He goes from being indestructible to like totally paper at different times. It's really strange. I don't know.
Yeah,
like he essentially says, like, we have no way out of this except for fighting, and then she still is like, no, I don't want to fight, and I can't for the life of me understand how they didn't just kill her. I don't understand why this battle isn't over before it begins. If Smith needs her so badly to take command in order to fight, and they're outnumbered against very powerful enemies, I just don't understand how they live or even keep living through the movie.
Well, the thing is, the bot says we should fight because obviously he's gonna fucking stomp them to the ground. They just have normal weapons. She gets shot a bunch of times and nothing happens. And instead of going like, hey, robot, can you do the fighting for me? She runs away and says, how do I shoot backwards, herder? It's like, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, how do I shoot backwards? And the bot just says, if you would have listened to the intro, you would have known. It's like, fucking, do you want to die too? Do you want to be destroyed?
Yeah, it's like, you know all this stuff, though. Like, tell me what you would suggest at any time and I'll authorize them then. Because he could have just said, I recommend that we use the shoulder cannons that can rotate. Like, she'd be like, yeah, do it.
It's not the time to make the robot snarky.
Does he need her commands or not? Like, it's... Well, and they do explain that he's getting snarky because she's snarky, and he's learning from her.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if he does yet. I think that was like, I got the impression that's for like a Neuralink thingy.
No, I think he's already. He does say he's already doing it from when he starts talking to her.
Oh, then why the fuck using Neuralink anyway? If you can do that,
it's much easier to just read her brain.
Yeah, I can just suck all the information out of her. Suck the info, do it.
But do you like cake or pie?
What a fucking stupid question, Jesus. Do you like cake or pie? They only did this for this fucking payoff at the end. It's like, I like both. I miss you, Smith.
That's why I didn't answer. It's because I like both.
God. Yeah, this is not time for the robot to be snarky. So she gets cornered even though she doesn't take any damage. And she's like, shoot the ion bomb. Because I didn't even mention that. She goes like, she's like, just show me all the weaponry you have. And it's like, oh, I have ion bomb, machine guns, blah, blah, blah. So ion bomb is like the biggest one in the arsenal. Like, it's a big fucking bomb that has like a huge AoE around her. And she gets like cornered. And it's like, shoot the ion bomb. And Rose's like, I would advise against it. Just do it. And then they do, and everything explodes. And it's like, oh, okay. And then, oh, oops, it created a big old sinkhole. And oops. And Rose like, well, I
He
would have
gets
told.
sassy with her again too. He's like, "Well, I was about to tell you that if we drop the ion bomb now, it's gonna create a sinkhole, but you didn't want to listen."
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck are we? What is those fucking robots suck? Are you trying to save me or not? Are you trying to just be a dickhole? Like, what are you? What? Oh, God, it's just so stupid.
Like, and it's like, again, why not give him a general command? Be like, use the weapons that you see most fit for this scenario and win this fight. Do
Yeah.
what you got to do. I don't know as much about combat as you do. You take this one.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why that's not always her plan A. So I was just like, no, run away. He's like, I don't think we can run. We need to kill these people or they're going to just catch us.
I should have watched this so I could bitch about shitty mech media. Well, you didn't want to, Swall. That's your own problem. Also, you don't want to see this. Believe me.
Yeah.
You don't want to see this. Also, entertain the people for a little bit. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. So, how's it going, everybody? Anyone watch anything interesting lately? I was talking a bit at the beginning of the stream about some games I've been playing. Two new indie first-person shooters have come out that I think are both worthwhile. First is called Celico, which I've been following for quite some time. It's a GZ Doom game that kind of has some fear elements to it, some Half-Life elements. It's pretty cool, and it's got a very neat visual style. I recommend it. And the other one is called Mullet Mad Jack, where you run down a bunch of hallways and fill up your 10 seconds of life, because it's sort of a crank situation where you need adrenaline to keep going, by getting kills. Kills give you like 3 seconds that add to it, and each level is about a minute long, 30 seconds long, and yeah, it's a cool game. Shitty mech media like, oh, James, don't besmirch the name of Armored Core 6. That is a good video game. Lemon Creature says that he's playing Pacific Drive, or she. Actually don't know if Lemon Creature is male or female. It's a creature, of course. But yeah, Pacific Drive I've heard some okay things about, but I hear it's kind of a sort of survival game, and I'm not really huge into those. Not that I think they're bad or anything, it's just that I don't click with them the way my wife does. My wife's actually got a stupid amount of hours in things like Conan Exiles and No Man's Sky, and she's really into the big open world survival games. Whereas, I don't know, they've really never been my cup of tea. Oh, though also I did finish Ghost of Tsushima for the first time. I've beaten that game because I didn't beat it on PS4 on lethal difficulty.
I have returned.
It was, yeah, pretty cool, but it was hard. I was talking about my dong.
Nice. Talking about
You
your
missed
dong? Sick.
Yeah.
The big dong.
Oh yeah, V Rising got into 1.0. I actually bought that early access and never got around to playing it. But I guess now I have a 1.0 game that I should probably try. It's like a vampire-based ARPG, I believe. My puppy. That was a puppy sneeze if you heard it.
God, this movie sucks. I'm gonna go back and finish Return of the King.
Yeah. I watched 4 episodes of Berserk. Maybe 4, maybe 3 of the original Berserk, because I'm saying Casca so often. I was like, okay,
Right.
I'm just gonna watch something with the good Casca in it. And I got the Blu-ray, so yeah. I don't know that it's. I guess they do look pretty clear. Like, I guess the resolution is maybe been remastered a little or something. But the big thing is it's 13 episodes per disc, and it's only 2 discs. So it's like, wow. It's like that's kind of neat. You don't have to constantly be getting up to switch discs.
I've actually a weird problem.
Whereas the DVD version is like a bunch. It's like 8 discs, something like that.
No, okay. Like a weird problem with with playing the Lord of the Rings 4K Ultra HD thingies. Like the first one worked fine, and then the second one on the second disc today, it just kind of started.
Like Two Towers disc 2.
Yeah, it just kind of started weirdly lagging for a bit, and then I restarted the PlayStation, was fine. Then it started again, and I really don't know what causes it. It's just super random. Like sometimes it just works again for another hour. Sometimes I restart, it's still there. I don't know.
PS5's Blu-ray player I find is a little spotty at times. I think the Xbox one actually works quite a bit better.
Well, it's specifically like the 4K Ultra HD thingies, so not only
Yeah,
just
yeah,
normal
yeah.
Blu-rays. I think
Oh yeah,
someone.
yeah. PS5 and Xbox One do the 4K Blu-rays though.
Oh, I didn't know the
Or
Xbox
not
does that.
Xbox One. Sorry, Xbox Series X.
Right. Cause yeah, I don't know. That's the first time that happened. It was kind of annoying. I actually had to divert to my other copy on my PC to just watch it uninterrupted because it got really annoying. But it's also annoying because the quality is not as good. I don't know. Maybe I'll try the disc again later. I don't know, because 4K Ultra HD just looks very nice.
Yeah, it really does. X-Ray Girl and I have a Christmas tradition where we always watch the extended 4K Lord of the Rings trilogy over the course of about a week. We'll kind of watch like one disc a night, kind of treat it like a TV show in a way.
Right.
Yeah, it's always nice though. The puppies love it. They really see themselves in the hobbits, and that they're small and helpful.
So JLongbone should arrive here any second now. She said she's gonna be there in a few. So.
Well, this is communication I'm not privy to. So if anyone's lying to you now, it's metal, everybody.
Wow. Wow. You have an alliance with Chad. Chad is already too powerful.
I just don't know. I'm hoping I trust you.
Wow.
I'm just saying, if it turns out to not be true, I cannot be blamed for this one.
It's fine. I get it. Chad is a powerful entity.
Yeah, they are. I mean, yeah, really, they're the most powerful entity on YouTube. They keep your streams alive, man.
That's true. Yeah. Never trust metal. More lies from the German man. Time to sue metal.
I believe it was the great poet Fred Durst who once said, "Without the fans, there wouldn't be no show, and if that were really so, then life would really blow."
Did it all for the Nuki.
Oh, he sure did.
Let's unsubscribe at once. False advertising Moodle is a Weasley little liar. Wow. Man. Flattery will get you likes. Oh.
I actually saw a really good video last week of the guitar player from Limp Bizkit playing at like some League of Legends competition with the cellist who does the theme for Cyberpunk. Like, you know, the dun 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 dun. This is like Vietnamese girl named like Tina Gao. She's pretty too, and it's just them doing a song together, and it's great. It's like really heavy metal with cellos. Good stuff.
Sounds good. I guess going back to the movie. Where were we? Oh yeah, the snarky robot. So they're now just sitting in darkness in this stinkhole or sinkhole, whatever you like to call it. And again, she gets like flung around like crazy. Like you see it like in a shot, and it goes like and she actually breaks her tibia.
Yeah.
And the bone sticks out. It's like, oh man, she takes damage, but the arc thing has a thing that can mend it a bit. Like, what did they do? Like, it's like a piece of metal. They put it on and just.
Yeah. So okay. So what is happening here? Okay, which is it's funny because she has to press the button before this process can start, and she's having trouble pressing the button. As if like, oh my God, this is going to hurt so much. I can't hit that button. Oh, I got to hit it now. Like they have her struggle with it. But she's not really reacting to the pain of her compound fractured tibia that is bursting through her skin. Like it's an open fracture. Actually, wait, it's not a compound fracture. It's a simple fracture, but it's an open fracture. So it's going through the skin, which... You got to understand there that you're feeling every individual element of that. You're feeling the broken bone, you're feeling the bone shard shredding the skin, and you're feeling your blood and like all that wound being out into the open air, getting stung by just being exposed. So she's in a shocking amount of pain already that she's not really reacting to at all, and then gets worried about the treatment. Right. Now, granted, the treatment would hurt also, but it's just weird that she seems like, oh my God, I think my leg's broken. Yeah, he scans her and he's like, yeah, you have an open fracture of your tibia. So I'm gonna need to reset the bone and then like I guess bolt it up with a steel plating is what they end up doing with it.
So correct me if I'm wrong. I think if it, like a broken tibia that takes like months to heal properly, right? It's like it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, no, it's not like, especially because it's a full break. It's not like there's just a hairline fracture or something like that. Like it's it's completely separated. Whereas I think a compound fracture, though, is broken in 2 places.
Ooh.
So it would be like a floating segment, which is what, although man, I might have to look up some of my osteology stuff.
Yeah.
But
Mark underestimating strong, independent women again.
well, no, but the thing is, though, it's like I think if she was tough enough to not really be reacting to the fracture, then she should be totally fine with pressing the button that starts the thing that she knows is going to make her feel better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'd be like, okay, this is gonna hurt for a little bit, and then they I guess try to make a joke about the fact that Smith just forgot to apply pain control prior to the procedure.
Yeah, and that's like
when he could have.
It's a little
It's
sprays
like,
in there.
why did you forget that, AI? Like, what do you mean you forgot? Like, aren't you a computer who has protocols and processes that you activate? How can you forget anything ever? Don't you have like the entire knowledge of human existence kind of? See, JoJo's upset.
Good. JoJo should be upset about this. But yeah, they do that, and then I know they do blah blah funny bits, blah blah, ha ha ha, and then she sees the dog tags and gets sad again. Peace to the fallen or whatever. Who gives a shit? Don't pretend like you're a serious movie. Fuck off. That's what I'm saying to this.
Every time they try to get serious, it infuriates me.
Yeah. But then she finally is like, oh, okay, fine, I'll use the Neuralink. I guess I do want to live after all, so I'm gonna improve the odds. Because they do like a thing. It's like, okay, robot, okay, I admit I'm a little bit out of my depth here. What can we do to improve our odds? And it's like, there's only one, and just zooms onto the Neuralink, and she's like, oh, fine. And they
and that
sync.
means that the people that she was at least one of the people who she was saying peace to the fallen about got killed because she didn't want to do the thing that she's now gonna do.
Yep. It's just like she uses the initiation thingy that she skipped in the beginning, because the bot says otherwise the sync won't work, and they do, and we get, I don't know, they talk about stuff. I don't know, I didn't actually write it down because it was probably very uninteresting and I didn't care enough.
Yeah, it all is. This is where the movie becomes like oh, this is so nice. They're just talking about their feelings.
Yeah, that's really lame. It's like, oh, I wanted to be a ranger actually, and so the whole thing is they can only sync if they know everything about each other, and she trusts the robot. That's the whole thing. It's like, oh, you need to trust me, and
so, isn't it that he reads her mind for that one? He's like, you always wanted to be a ranger.
Yeah, I think so. It's really unclear how it actually works. Like sometimes it reads the mind, sometimes like, you need to trust me. And then she tells him something. It's like, see, now you trust me. And now we're 100% synced. But obviously they use this as like a thing to to get to, so she can use all the powers of the thing. Because for some reason, all of a sudden, the sync status correlates directly with what weapon systems are available, or what systems are available in general. Like it says, we have 40% sync status. That means we have enough systems available to do XYZ. Even though we already bypassed this earlier and used the biggest fucking gun in the arsenal.
We use the ultimate weapon that we have access to already. So off the bat, weird. But it's just like, this is your skill unlocking tree.
Yeah, pretty much.
Our sync level is your experience points
now. But yeah, that's it's really stupid. So they do like a little scan down there. It's like, oh, look at all these tunnels and stuff, and they do like a short boost so they can get out of this thing, and they go outside. It's like, oh no, Casca is still here. Who told Harlan that she's still alive here somewhere, but doesn't get any reinforcements for some reason. It's He's like, hey, we've all been wiped out. She's still there. It's like, okay, go get her. Okay. And then he just walks there. He doesn't ask for like drones or resupplies or more soldiers. They're just doing the thing.
Yeah, on a planet which they control.
JLongbone still hasn't showed up. She told me on the Twitter that she's gonna be here in a few. Maybe she got lost somewhere. I don't know. She should be here soon. Please don't make me a liar.
You have puppies. You can't see them, but they're very cute.
Nice. But yeah,
like I don't know. Do you want to just skip the whole segment where they're getting to know each other? Is there anything to really pick apart?
I mean, I'll go with my notes. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't even write it down because it wasn't that interesting. Because we just. I mean, I'm already by blowing up Casca here, so they're just like, this is the thing. You tell me this. Do you like cake or pie or bullshit? I don't know. Who cares? Because the whole thing they try to do doesn't work or doesn't check out at all because it's just fucking stupid. You can't use this because of this. Like, yeah, but you already used the fucking biggest gun in our arsenal, so don't fucking give me that bullshit. But yeah, Casca didn't even get any backup. He just goes there and they have like a plan. It's like, oh, we use these motion sensors and mines, put them here to lure him in, and they just blow up Casca like that. So now that's deal with them. And for some reason, the blown up Casca, where the head is still around, is like, I'm gonna talk shit to you now because you suck and stuff. You can't kill me. It's like, oh yeah, the other guy told me on Earth that I killed. Haha. So she squishes her head, scans it, and that gives her the information for where the base is that they need to tag. It's like,
I think it's that she says I already have, and then she kills the new one, and then she says twice.
Something like that, yeah. It was very epic and cool, I promise.
Yeah. The audience clapped.
I clapped so hard, dude. So yeah, this is how she figures out where the base is. It's like weird because, as we already said, the whole point is that Harlan basically led her here somehow, but fucking Harlan also lets her get shot by lots of people. It just doesn't make any sense. Like there's no indication that all the soldiers that are after her have any plans of taking her life. They just fucking batter her with bullets. So yeah, now she knows where it is, and he's like, well, we know where it is. We're gonna need to tag this base now so they can orbital bombard it or something.
Yeah, that's her plan too.
Yeah.
Like he's like, no, like I have to get you to the rescue pod because that's the magic extraction zone.
That's the magic extraction zone, the pod, which is weirdly enough very close to that base. So now I'm just wondering if that was a random pod from the base that she scanned for. So she would have walked into that base anyway. So it's all kind of it's weird. It's only like it's not very far away from where she's going anyway. But yeah, the Smurf's like, no, I need to get you to safety. You can't do this. And she's like, nah, I have to go. And this is where we learn that the bot can override her mortar functionality. Which reminds her.
Which is odd. Which, considering her character, that should have been like, okay, I'm immediately pulling this thing out. I'm done.
Yeah.
No more Neuralink. You just stopped my body from moving when I wanted to move it. Like,
especially
I don't know how she tolerated that.
It specifically reminds her of the day her mother got killed, and that's when it first happened with Harlan, because he managed to do that back then somehow. Because you can do that by overriding
with the same hand in almost the same position too. It actually triggers post-traumatic memories as well as being the thing she was specifically afraid that it would do. And so it's like the fact that he does it, it's like, well, how can he ever hope to be trusted by her at this point? And they just kind of disregard it after like a scene.
Yeah.
This movie sucks, everybody. Yeah, yeah. Her mother was killed by resurging spiders in the Amazon right before she died.
Yeah. And then I wish JLong would be for this one because this is like peak cringe. What's happening here? Because she remembers this whole thing, and then Smith says, "I've never felt so much pain." I was like,
Yeah,
because
he could feel her emotions.
I have never felt so much pain. It was another part of the movie where I just stopped the movie and just got up for a second. It's like, okay, no, I need to take a little break here. This is making me cringe too hard.
See, what you don't understand, Metal, is that his superpower is empathy.
Oh, okay. But yeah, then she convinces Smith to actually go there because this is the best chance they ever had to get rid of Harlan. And yeah, she's like, oh yeah, okay, that's a good point actually. I didn't think of that because I was only doing my only programmed thingy to getting you to safety, and yeah. Like, is it hard coded to you or not? Like, who's in charge now? Because I don't get it. It's just how they need it. That's how it is in the plot. It's like, oh yeah, I guess you're making a good point. This is how we can stop him. It's just weird because this feels like an incentive that like another human would have. I don't think the bot cares about the destruction of Harlan in general. I think the bot is only there, at least from what I understand, what they give me in this movie. The bot is there to support the guy that is controlling it and get him to safety or get her to safety, and not
to
like
keep that person.
Yeah,
alive.
but here's
know, honestly, for a combat vehicle, that is actually not really a great like prime directive to have, because you might need to prioritize the mission over the pilot's safety. In the sheer sense that entering combat at all would be putting your pilot's safety at risk.
True, yeah.
So theoretically, if your only directive is the pilot's safety, you should see combat happening and immediately start running away. Like it is strange that is their main goal, because their main goal should probably be the mission, and their secondary should be keep the pilot alive if ever at all possible. But I don't like the movie doesn't understand the things it's saying.
Sorry, I keep checking my Twitter messages if I missed any message from JLongbone.
I just didn't have too much more to add.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I've never felt so much pain. That was special. No, he didn't. He let her break her tibia. Yeah, that's true. That's also true.
Yeah, I guess no. You don't get it. I just need to make sure she has a pulse.
So yeah, at this point, I was like, oh, she seems to be the actual only survivor of this mission. Did we already see Elias getting tortured or something? I don't remember. I don't know if I've written that down here.
Well, that does happen.
Yeah, it happens here somewhere. I think I forgot to write it down. He extracts something out of his brain juices or something. He just kind of drills into his eye and gets like a thing, and it seems really painful.
Yeah, he does the Dead Space 2 on him.
Right. Oh yeah, and then they try to talk about what is life and what is determined as living, but they kind of just both are, that's what I believe. Oh, okay, that's what I believe. And they don't really talk about it any further. It's just so dumb. It's like, do you think you're alive? Nah, what about you? Aren't I kind of more alive than you are or something? And then
we are all the Walking Dead.
Doesn't one of them say, it's like, I think everything is alive to a degree or some bullshit? I don't know. Maybe I'm just... It's really lame, and they say nothing. They just pose those questions to each other, but no one is actually like answering any questions. What they actually
it's your basic kind of like Turing question. Like, at what point can a robot think that makes it a consciousness? And does the mere fact of having a consciousness give you a soul?
Mm-hmm.
But like, I mean, they don't do anything with it. They just kind of they're like, isn't that a deep question, bro? Like, it's the high school student who just saw Blade Runner and started smoking weed with his buddies in the park the next day. Like,
Yeah.
It's that level of engagement with the question.
Yeah. Do you is Soma? Yeah. Yeah, it's really lame. That definitely felt like, I guess we have to pose a question because there's like very advanced AI. Let me put that little tick up there, and off we go. We did it. And this is also where she says she seemingly has regrets of about not becoming a ranger and stuff.
Which, I mean, in and of itself is weird, because if she's so afraid of AI, why would she want to be in a machine in which they do AI stuff? Like, they have an AI companion there.
Well,
Even,
it's weird because
the
movie focuses more on the Neuralink. Like, the Neuralink is a problem. Like, apparently the ARC suits in itself are fine.
But yeah, I mean, it should be just as much of a problem if Harlan hacks the AI. Like, nothing to do with the Neuralink at all. If it just hacks the AI that is controlling the suit, then can't it just, like, reach in, grab you, and then crush your skull?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it hacks your God, I keep on saying astromech because they come from space. I don't know why. What do they even call them, actually?
The ARC suits?
ARC suits, yeah, that's it. I guess it's because it was an A suit. So yeah, like, I don't understand how hacking the ARC suit isn't something they're very afraid of.
Yeah, there should be. It should be a much bigger issue that they do it. It's funny because as soon as they arrive at the base and go further in, they immediately get hacked by Harlan. And so the exact thing happens that everyone has been saying should be a problem. And like, yeah, it was a problem actually.
Yeah, and he's like, this shouldn't be happening. It's like, oh well, yeah.
Well, it did. I don't know why you assumed it shouldn't. You never told me that you are like not. Oh, they actually do. At some point, he's like, I think right before, it's like, that shouldn't be happening or something. It's like, this is a closed loop system, so it can't be hacked, which is bollocks. Whatever.
Yeah, it has no access to the outside world at all. They don't have internet access on the ARC suits.
No.
Totally closed loop. It's just you and the machine. That's it.
And then we basically cut to the. Oh, what's happening?
I just read Lord of Pizza Pie's comment. It's pretty funny.
My AI is a submissive and breedable twink.
Breedable.
Oh man. Well, then we basically cut to the compound, and she tags it with a beacon. And well, GG, we did the mission. It's like, oh wait, they have the Daib or Deeb. It's weird because they pronounce it differently depending on what character you're listening to.
Listen al Gaib.
Listen al Gaib. And she's like, well, we gotta get closer to see what they do with the thing. I was like, oh, okay. And they see that, oh yeah, earlier they mentioned, if for plan B, we still have this crazy warhead that can just kill everything on the planet, can just blow up half the planet with some crazy shit.
Yeah, that's... Which, I mean, like, why aren't the humans just using that on him?
I don't know. I don't
know.
What
are they trying to preserve on that planet? There's no organic life to be found.
Well, they could have made an effort and explained, it's like, hey, this is like an unknown planet. We don't know if there's anything else besides the AI. But then again, they also say there's like this crazy storm and there's basically no oxygen, so you need masks. So I don't know if that's like a temporary thing, you need masks, or in
but
general.
Not right away. The oxygen levels are funny too.
The masks are weird anyway. They just go around your throat, and I guess they just
Yeah. Oh yeah. Also, that's strange
I don't
too.
know, like spit air in your face or something.
Guess they're injecting the oxygen right into your trachea.
uh, I don't know. So they see that they get closer. And it's like, oh no! Looks like they are able to be hacked after all. Oopsie! And they get captured.
Yeah, like right away.
uh, let's see here.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Tag the ship too, then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, yeah, and we also tag this ship. You should probably get that thing before it gets to Earth. You've got 2.5 million light years to intercept it.
Yeah.
It's not like that's the thing. It's not like it's on the moon, right? Like it's not like once they launch, it's over. But they're treating it as if it is. It's that thing gets off the planet and Earth is going to be destroyed.
Yeah, because they want to use it as a Trojan horse with the passcodes or whatever. It's also weird when we get to the plan. It's like, what? Somewhere in here, Earth gets the transmission that JLo did at some point. It was like, is anyone listening? And they're like, that's weird. Oh, I guess we should do something. But we don't see them until the end of the movie. But they're sending more people. Yeah, we finally get the Harlan and Atlas confrontation. And, I mean, we already said it. Of course, he planned all of this. Because she needed her to be here. Because the remember that big shield I mentioned, or we mentioned rather, it's like, oh, you need 2 codes for this. We already got one from Elias over here, and you have another pair that we could use. It's like, okay, I guess, yeah, sure, if you say so. And he also needed the warhead of the Daib to use as a Trojan horse and then blow up all of Earth. So this has all been planned. It's all the big master plan to get her here and get the codes.
He's been the grand puppet master through this entire affair.
Okay, so what if she didn't go on the mission after all? Yeah, no second code? Question mark. But that can't be, because there should be another one on that ship to get another code, because they need to come back and get through the barrier. So I don't know why he even specifically needs her. He just needs the code. And they definitely have 2 of them because they need to go back at some point. At least that was the plan, unless they get all wiped out, of course. But in general, the procedure is you need the 2 codes, or the 2 code pairs, or whatever they call it. And you need to...
hey, look at this.
Jill. Hello.
We're no longer false advertisers.
See, Chad, I wasn't lying after all. People were calling me false advertiser in German and stuff.
You're at least one of those.
Yeah. How you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I mean, apart from having to talk about this shitty movie again.
Well, I mean, we did a bunch of that already, so don't worry. We got you covered.
We're at the part where Simu Liu has her dead to rights in the interrogation room, and explained that every single little bit of what happened in this movie was his plan all
along. Actually, now that you're here, I think I'm pretty sure you enjoyed this specific line in general when they finally start to sync up, and she's like, "I need to go and tag the thing," and Smith's like, "No." And then the Smith stops her, and she remembers her dead parent, and is like, ah. And then Smith says, "I have never felt so much pain."
He's that empathetic.
I feel like you would have enjoyed that line specifically. I don't know.
It'd be way funnier if he was into it. It's like, oh, I've never felt so much pain.
Oh, I can do it again.
That was hot.
maybe I'll break your other tibia too. The better JLo is here. True.
Yeah.
God, yeah.
JLongbone.
Well, yeah, it's like, oh, I planned all of this. I need you here, even though he really doesn't, because there's probably at least 3 other people that have the codes you need. It's not only him and... Who would have had the code? Who would have had the other code if she wouldn't be on the trip? Did they just left someone else at home instead of her? It's not like there was like a planned one-way mission or a one-way track. So stupid.
I don't know. I don't think I was even tracking the plot at this point well enough to tell you the specifics.
Well, it's because,
I
because
know
that's
that
not
she
in the
had
movie.
the code that he needs right now at this point in the movie, and
Yeah.
that's what matters to them.
Yeah, for sure. But it's just weird because it's specifically the mechanics of opening up the the shield to get into Earth or onto Earth. So you always need the 2 keys. So it's not only Elias and her, so it could be Elias and the lady that died because she didn't want to use the Neuralink in the beginning. You know?
Yeah.
It's not specifically her. Like you would think
What
he
if you're
would
the
be
lone
going
survivor?
Hmm?
Like, what if you're coming back to Earth and you're the lone survivor of a mission? You're like, look, there's no second code, okay? It's only me. I'm the only one who
I
made
barely
it.
made it out alive.
I don't even have to come in. Just send someone out here. I need medical attention very badly.
Yeah. So yeah, it just doesn't. It's just well, bollocks. And yeah, obviously, if you, God, this movie is also so fucking lame while also being super fucking bad, because it's the most basic AI gone rogue plot. It's like, I'm overcompensating because humans are a threat for themselves, so we will kill the vast majority, and the leftovers get to live besides your new AI overlords. It's like,
Yeah, it's like it's a cross between Thanos and Terminator.
Fucking yawn.
There's too many humans. I've got to cull them.
And
How does that make you special? Most humans think there are too many humans on the planet.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's no surprise that a Hollywood writer would write that because they've been telling themselves that they need to eradicate most of us for years, and it's weird.
it's so great as well. So she he puts her on the stretcher, also drills into her eye. Same with Elias. By the way, Elias looks like he's been tortured nearly to death.
Yeah.
For no reason, apparently, because they just drill into her. It's like, okay, we got it. It was like super quick. She barely even flinched.
It's like the difference between doing the last thing in Dead Space 2 well and failing at it.
Yeah.
She did it perfectly. It's just like it went right in, got the information, and came right out.
Yeah.
Did you notice that Simu Liu does like this jittery trembling every time he does his AI drilling thing? Like his eyes bug out. And he starts,
really?
he starts shaking.
I didn't see that. That's fun.
Yeah, I did not mind him on Kim's Convenience. So when I heard he was cast in the Marvel universe, I was like, okay, guess that guy's kind of good. But yeah, I've not seen him do any good acting. Like he's okay on a comedy show where he's basically just playing like a dude from Toronto. So I guess I
mean, except for
understandably he does like well enough at that.
His acting was pretty good though.
Sorry, which one?
the stabbing fetish porn he used to do.
Oh,
What, really? That's a thing?
Yeah.
wait.
Okay. Wow.
I think those videos, like, a couple of them are still on YouTube.
Like, is it like pornography or is it like actual like
it's-
snuff stuff where he's stabbing actual people?
Oh my
weird. It's
God.
like they stage him getting, like, it's movie shit. It's just like he's faking getting stabbed in the stomach.
Oh,
and
okay.
then
So he's the
starts,
one
like,
getting stabbed.
he starts writhing and making moaning noises. Like, it's just-
Oh, okay. So I guess it can be porn.
yeah.
It's whatever you
just
want
not
it to be.
Fetish
inherently.
shit. It doesn't make any sense, but someone's getting off to it.
If it's on the internet, someone is getting after it for sure.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously,
Of course.
it's why anyone gives me shit about X-Ray Girl being like more sexual on stream. I was like, look, oh god, people are gonna jerk off your wife. I'm like, dude, they already are. I'm not stopping that.
I can't do nothing. Isn't it also weird that he has to drill into their eye holes to get the codes? Isn't the whole thing that he hacked the Neuralink to get all the information and scan people? Can you just use the Neuralink to do that? Why are we doing the drilling? Just seems unnecessarily cruel.
No, but you don't get it. I played this game called Dead Space 2, and there's this real
Ah,
cool part
okay.
where like your needle goes in the eye, and everyone loves it.
Yeah.
So they're gonna love our movie.
Yeah, it's also funny because obviously Elias is still alive, and to be fair, he might have not been tortured. I think he might have just been fucked over from getting his his arc suit destroyed or whatever. But I find it weird that they just let him live this whole time. I mean, he's been here for I don't know hours, maybe a day, half a day.
Yeah. Like what else were they planning to do with him?
And did they just like replace his breathing thing this whole time? Because the other one wasn't filled that long. The one J-Lo uses. Like he's been here for hours.
I mean,
He should have been suffocating for. No, not suffocating. He should have been suffocated. He should have.
I guess
Should have been dead.
he's being treated very well by his AI captors.
Oh, that's nice. So yeah, he should be dead one way or another. But hey, whatever. He's I just read mine. Sometimes I prepare those like sometimes days in advance, and I put little notes here in between, and I just wrote in here, I wonder what bullshittery happens for her to survive this. And immediately she's unguarded, everyone leaves.
Yeah.
And he gives her the magnet as well, like the chess piece magnet.
Piece. Yeah.
And yeah, Elias is still alive and gives her the Neuralink. So apparently, which
They didn't even they didn't even restrain him.
no, it's like he's dead probably.
We're not gonna check.
Yeah, she has like binds on her, but he's like, here, take this. And I guess these work for every arc suit. It's the mechanics of these suits are so wonky. They just are whatever the plot wants them to be. Because I would have assumed, because they have like a little place on there that you put in the arc suit, it's like, oh, there's like one Neuralink for this one specific arc suit. It's like, no, you can just apparently use any Neuralink and just link to the thing you are linked to. I guess it's just a connector. It doesn't need to be a specific one. I don't know. God, it's so stupid. It's like, hey, Smith, wake up. You need to get here. Oh, I can't because you need to overwrite this, but this only works when you are at 100% sync because that's what the plot says, I guess.
What advances this technology if it takes like a whole day for you to sync with it?
You don't get it. I normally sync up with people right away. It must be you.
Yeah. You don't trust me fully yet because that's somehow how that works, even though she already overrid everything in the beginning and was like, do the thing without the Neuralink, but now it's all locked behind the percentage bar because we need to fill up our experience bar to level up or
If
something.
you have emotional problems, you can't properly sync.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's not a huge design flaw. That's
I mean, all those other Marines must have no psychological issues at all. Like all the
No,
other
I mean,
Rangers.
killing people for a living and getting shot
Yeah.
at. That is.
Yeah, you never get any post-traumatic
No.
stress or depression or anxiety from stuff like that. Never.
So now she has to drop the truth bomb. Now we know it's because, as I written down in my second note line, this probably was her or the mother that caused the whole AI thing. And that's exactly what happened, because apparently a 13-year-old Atlas was so jealous of the AI being in the foreground of her mother's mind because he's so impressive. It's like, can you teach me the things? And he's like, well, I need to reprogram this thing so I can hack right into your mind. And 13-year-old Atlas is like, that sounds cool. Let's go to do this. So they sync up, and apparently the 13-year-old Atlas had such doomsday scenarios in her head that he instantly went like, yeah, I gotta kill all the humans now.
Yeah.
13-year-old is like, oh yeah, you remember Martin Luther King was assassinated? You gotta kill us all.
It's so
Do you even
funny because
understand what we're doing to the world's food supply right now.
like they do the whole thing with the montage. It's like, war, explosions, the mistreatment, slavery, like all these pictures that you see when these things happen. But it's so funny. He comes like with a 13-year-old that just wants to get better at things. And he's like, okay, time to kill her mother. Oh, it's so great. I laughed really hard when I saw that. But yeah, what happened was he instantly reprogrammed himself, which made him able to control the motoric skills, whatever the word was. I'm having a seizure right now.
Motor skills of another person.
That's the one I was looking for. And like, no, I can't move anymore. And she makes her go to a gun locker and shoot herself, basically.
And see, like, that's another thing that I totally didn't understand. Is like, so if he understood that he had this big plan that he needed to enact, why would the first thing that he does be execute the person who built him? Like, if there's any way to put yourself on the radar as an AI that should probably be stopped immediately, it would probably be the one who kills its master the second it gains the ability to do so.
Right.
But these things are smart, everybody.
Very smart. Yeah, but from there out, apparently he can just hack into everything because safety mechanics are not a thing we want to use ever in any scenario. Even though security is like a very high, like the very important thing that everyone uses in every company. And I will bet my ass that if there was ever be an AI like that, they would have a things like, oh, this thing is starting to go crazy. We need to have like a shutdown button or something that might be, even if it's like a little exploding device or shortening thingy that you can't reprogram, like a mechanical thing. I feel like that should be a thing. It's like one of the problems with these scenarios. Like I feel like in 2020 or 2057 or whenever this is supposed to be, I feel like you have safety precautions for this kind of thing happening. But, you know, there's ways to go past those things, but they didn't really tackle it here. It's just like, no, he reprogrammed everything immediately, and then he started destroying the world. But then loses and
but
leaves
lost the
Earth.
war somehow.
Yeah, he lost the Earth. I still don't know how he fucking lost. What a fucking loser. But yeah, they're super synchronized now, and she's like, she was like, it's my fault. He's so sad, and obviously Smith's like, it's fine. It's out of your hands or whatever. But because you're also responsible for me, so that's cool. And this has no further implications for her ever again. Because I feel like if people would find us like, oh, you as a little child gave him all this power, I feel like there's some bad blood from some people. You know, just saying. Just saying. But if you just don't talk about it ever again, it's fine because she's the hero of the movie, and they're fully synced now. Oh yeah, by the way, remember the year I just talked about with Elias? That is now depleted, obviously. Even though he has been here for hours, and they kept him alive, I guess. This movie is so silly. Oh yeah, Smith is coming back now. He's like, I got air for both of you. It's like, okay, so I guess that's not an issue anymore. Cool. And yeah, they took all the weapons of Smith. Like, oh, damn it. But no worries. There's all these random things of Zoe's arc suit, like Elias's arc suit. And, oh yeah, they also have one undocumented chest blaster, which I don't know why that's undocumented. That's such a weird thing to do. Hey, do we have any weapons? No, they took everything. Except this one undocumented chest blaster, so they missed it.
The mechanic just threw this extra weapon onto this military vehicle and didn't tell anybody, and no one cared. It loaded it, by the way. Like, it has ordnance.
Yeah, you can shoot, but only once. They had like one scrap rocket they want to put somewhere. It's like, oh god, just put it in the chest piece, fuck it.
Yeah, also, like, I mean, this is assuming that Harlan and all of his organization have no way of scanning the robot. They can only just look at the specs.
I guess
like,
so.
Okay, here's what this thing says it has. Cool.
Yeah, just take all this. Don't check for anything else. What the fuck is a chest blaster? Well, apparently it's just a thing that shoots one thing, and they use it at some point. Oh god, yeah. So now we go into.
Was it the same apparatus that like the docking mechanism was?
I don't
that
think
they use
so.
in the...
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they made that mistake. But
similar.
you know what? I'm not gonna go back and check because I'm not gonna watch this movie ever again.
Yeah, probably may not.
Also, yeah, with all these scrap stuff lying around, so she somehow docks 2 extra arms to her arc suit now, and now she has like quad arms and swords.
Yeah, and take Zoe's arms. Why not?
And just that those all work. She like operates them.
Yeah, that's again the thing. The means by which she is able to integrate new parts into this robot is friggin' wild. It's like, okay, here now I'll integrate this gun is now part of our ordinance. It's like, wait, what? It's like how is this happening?
Yeah.
It's like it just becomes part of the mech. It's like it all of a sudden becomes like nanomachine liquid metal that can subtly change shape. Jojo, I know, it's okay.
Stop talking about Atlas.
This movie is evil.
It's evil. I smell it. And now we got lots of shooty bang bang, and she is really good. Well, I say she's really good at it. I feel like Smith is really good at the fighting. Like they've been trying to say it's like, oh, with your analytic mind and my combat capabilities, it's gonna be really easy. But really, he also does all the analyzing. Like at some point, he's like, analyze the thing so it's the best. It's like, yeah, we go do this. Like, okay, shoot this, and there's like a cascade of things that explode. She shoots one thing in the turret that shoots the drone carrier that crashes into the other drone carrier. It's like from back do you guys remember like the Action Man animated show from back in the day? Maybe just me, but they had like the action mode or whatever they call it. And it's like, oh, if I do...
I remember, I just still have a growling puppy.
Oh, yeah, okay. Because there's like, if I do this it connects to this, and then I can flip over there and punch this guy, and then I win. That's basically what happened there, but with mechanical, with AI analyzing stuff. But yeah, they're just wrecking their shit. And it's that's where the inconsistencies come in again, because she's like kind of charging into enemies, gets shot, nothing happens, but at some point she just hides behind a wall so she doesn't get shot more, even though it really didn't do anything to her. And Elias just walks up behind the enemy lines and has like a really big boomstick, and he just looks at JLo, like, run. And he just shoots this fucking jet fuel barrels out of them, and just explodes everyone and sacrifices himself. It's really sad, I swear. It's very dramatic. And I was like, how did you get behind those guys? Why isn't she just... She even has like... Right, I forgot about this. She's like, activate shield. They have like a shield that goes over her front window. I was like, why did you need that for? That you didn't need this the whole time. You've been shot there the whole time. Nothing happened. And it's the same caliber guns they're using from what I could tell, so I don't know what the fuck this is supposed to be.
Also, I mean, like, seems like the AIs have no means of figuring out that there's a person behind them with a very powerful weapon. Like, I feel like shouldn't they have some kind of radar, like scanning type deal?
It was really loud and they couldn't see.
Oh no.
Like, I mean, they're the worst AI robot, like bad guys ever. They're not very good at anything.
Yeah, I just want to say Elias is definitely the hero of this movie. He saves JLo once. He sacrifices himself at the end. I feel like we should have followed him around. He seems cool. I also want to know how he programmed this robot to do the weird pronoun thing, because I don't think that makes any sense in how those mechanics work. But I went over that already.
He might have just said, "Don't ever let anyone call you an it or thing."
Yeah. God, it would have been interesting that he has like a connection to the robot as well. You know, like we try to do here, but you can do it like good, not cringe. Anyway, Let's see. Oh yeah, we just win here. Like we kill everything, but we are too slow. The ship. Oh god, I just remember what happens next. God, this is so retarded. So the ship takes off, is making its way towards Earth. I guess they have both codes. He's like, damn, what am I gonna do now? We need to shoot it down. But now Harlan is also here, and he has like a really big rocket launcher thingy. And while the ship is leaving, Smith's like, "No, don't shoot it. You might destroy the warhead and the whole planet." And JL's like, "Well, hack it." And he's like, "No, there's not enough time." And she says, "No, it'll be fine," and shoots, and then it's fine. And even Smith is surprised that the hacking was fast enough, even though he has all the data to tell her it doesn't work, and then works. And he's like, "Wow, how did that work?" And she just says, "I trusted you."
Which, I mean, is a shitty answer, too. Because she probably should have been like, I was factoring in your rocket fly time.
Yeah.
You weren't. Like, because, I mean, that seemed to be what did it, right? It's that he's like, no, don't fire yet, I'm not done. She fires, and then they make a point of showing that it takes the rocket time to get to the ship, and we're assuming that the hacking finishes in that time.
Yes.
But she doesn't mention that. She just says, I trusted
you.
Even though you were flat out telling me, no, don't, trust me. I'm telling you not.
It's not gonna work.
But I
Stop
trust
it.
you.
Oh, God. Yeah, it's really stupid. It's like, because I trusted you, my calculations don't mean anything anymore. Get wrecked. So, yeah, the whole ship explodes. Which also makes it actually, I don't... No, never mind.
One shot, by the way. One shot, you can take this entire ship down.
Oh yeah, she does do it in one shot, which is funny because that thing got shredded in the beginning when they got here by multiple shots, and it's still around, I guess, because it is the Daib, right? The thing we got in here. So I don't even know how she did that, but mech technology or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's really stupid. But now all the debris is come flying down, and she's dodging it, and they start making their way to the...
I think I remember her saying something that threw me off, like, "Oh, you're kidding, right?" Or like, "No way." Like, she says something that's like, "I can't believe this is happening," because I remember thinking, why would you not think debris would come down if you just destroy a massive battleship in the sky right above you? Where do you think that's going?
It came out of nowhere, Mark. What are you talking about?
It wasn't in space yet. Like, it was still in atmosphere.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
It's like, what do you think would happen if you shot up a plane that was flying over your house?
Yeah.
Do you think, like, the wind would carry the debris far enough away and you'd be fine? It was just weird. It was weird that she thought that would be not something she'd have to consider. Taking cover after destroying a massive ship, which was right above her.
Oh, well. So they dodge some of these things, and they make their way to the whatever the fuck the rescue pod is. They make their way there. The ever magical rescue pod.
Magic extraction zone. Yeah.
The magic extraction zone. Yeah.
And mission screen. Yeah, you just have to, it's like the exit of a Doom level.
But hey, Harlan is still here, and they fight now. And now we're doing a Resident Evil caliber fight because apparently he fucking superhumanized himself, or super androidized. I don't even know what I'm gonna call it. But let me put it that way. He has a sword in his hand. Like he grows it in between his middle and ring finger.
Spot, yeah. Middle and ring finger. Like it's two fingers separate on each side to create a very, very wide hand with a thumb on one side and a sword coming out the middle.
It looks so fucked and unpractical. I hated it.
It looks goofy, like, my fingers.
My fingers.
And then he kind of grips the sword with them too in a weird way. Like he curls his fingers around it. It was very strange. And I'm willing to bet they were just trying to be like, we got to do something interesting for this to like make it kind of unique. But it's like, man, just...
Oh wait, you put the picture here. Hang on, let me pull it up. Where's my OBS? Look at this. Oh, why is this so small? What the hell? Oh, that just made it weird. I think that's enough to see. So this is where this thing comes out. It's like in between middle and ring finger and just splits open. What the fuck is that? Exactly, that's what I was thinking.
It's not like Wolverine. like Wolverine, it's like each claw is coming out in the space between the knuckles, at least in the movies. And
Yeah.
with this, it's like the knuckles separate even further, and an entire sword is coming out of one of those spaces that the middle Wolverine claw would be in.
It's really weird.
The kid stretching out the hand of a Stretch Armstrong doll and putting a butter knife in there.
I am Harlan, the master villain man. But yeah, he has like super duper strength. And this sword is very sharp. He cuts off like an arm of like one of the arms with ease. He just holds one of the mech arms at some point and overpowers it a little bit. It's like, wow, you made yourself real strong. Why didn't you make more of you to win better and not just these floopy other androids that are just normal, well, androids with guns? Let me see. What happens in this fight again? So, yeah, the sword can penetrate. Oh, at some point he turns the sword into a whip sword. Because
Yeah,
that's
he turns it
epic.
IV sword from Soul Calibur, basically.
Yeah. Why does he do that? Because they thought that would be
Because
cool.
I can tell the person who made this movie, at least like the person who directed the visuals, has played a lot of video games. Because there's a shitload of video game references in this movie, but pretty much none of them are done in a way that's more compelling than,
Yeah.
oh my god, that's just like Ivy's sword.
Swalwell makes a good point. Why isn't the final battle a mech fight? It's literally what you're supposed to do. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
You would think it would be a mech.
Yeah, the enemies don't seem to use mechs, even though they kind of make it seem like their physical forms are as strong as the mechs, but then the mechs just like the one mech seems to have no problem killing a bunch of them, whereas all the rest of the mechs die to them. Like,
Well, that's what I'm
basically
saying. I think he only powered up himself. The other ones are just normal androids with guns that you can just shoot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. For some reason, he was like, I'm gonna get all the superpower buffs, but you get guns, and I'll make Casca 15 times. So yeah, they have like a fight 1-on-1. It's like pretty, I don't know, a surprisingly level playing field. Actually, Harlan is actually stronger. I lied.
That's the thing.
Harlan
If
is
anything,
actually winning.
There's no way Smith should have beaten Harlan at all, because of how powerful they make his weapon.
Yeah, because he can
His
just cut for
weapon
everything. It's insane.
It effortlessly slices through any part of Alice's mech. So it's like cutting off sections of its elbows and things like entire arms, and it cuts off the back of its knees. But what's weird is it takes a long time for Smith to really seem like it's even starting to be slowed down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just doesn't really seem to be affected by all these kind of major components being chopped off it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like there's any way they should win, considering how much damage Harlan's doing at the very beginning of this.
Yeah,
and how agile he is.
It's also weird because she uses the analytics at some point and sees the attack pattern and then reacts to them. I don't know how she even blocks those, because that fucking thing just cut through her arm earlier in that fight. But
yeah,
you know.
If anything, that was the wink at like Soul stuff. It's like all you have to do is learn the attack pattern and figure out when to dodge.
Sure.
As if he's just running on a pattern too. It's like, does he not have any other moves that he could throw in that you haven't seen?
Nope, that's all he learned.
He always slashes down, then slashes down, and then horizontally to the left, horizontally to the right, and then he does a little spinny thingy. So we just got to figure out how to dodge those and attack in the middle.
It's very epic.
Find the opening and punish.
But yeah, they slightly win, and it even rips out an arm and yeets it away, but the arm is like magnetic or something and just gets soaked back in. And this is where he just overpowers the arc arm with his hand. It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna put this up a little bit. I'm not actually pinned to the floor anymore. And then he just fucking wrecks their shit. Like, Atlas briefly dies. in the fight.
Yeah.
And Smith has to defibrillate her. That's the back to living.
Yeah.
While like it was at some point he has
Not to
her.
mention, like, I mean, this is a nitpick, but she also did not have a shockable rhythm. She was flatlined. You can't do anything with that.
Oh well, there you go. They got it wrong. I can't believe it.
Yeah, no.
Like he defibs her inside, and then at some point he gets her out of the cockpit and holds her in the hand away, and it's so weird.
we need to set up a dramatic scene, so she needs to be out of the suit.
Yeah, I used my second defibrillator. Why is that word so hard to say? Defibrillator in my arm.
I guess here's actually a good way to understand why what they did was wrong, and also understand how the word is said. Ventricular fibrillation.
That
is
would
the
not
rhythm
help
that
me
can
right
be
now.
shocked.
That was just another hard word to say.
Okay, fibrillation is like shaking, like tiny little shakes. So like think like vibration. Vibration is almost like what fibrillation is. So what a defibrillator does is it can break you out of a ventricular fibrillation rhythm by essentially resetting your heart for a moment. Because what's happening is the electrical signals are getting all fucked up. So you send a big electrical signal in to basically kind of reboot it, like turn it off for a moment and then let it figure itself out again and hopefully get back into a rhythm.
Right.
So it doesn't bring you back to life by injecting electricity into you, which is what I think a lot of people think they do. It's just if you're in a ventricular fibrillation rhythm, which is your heart is dying but not dead, you can kind of fix it if you defibrillate in some cases.
Right.
But like generally, if you're getting defibrillated at all, there's like an 80% chance you're gonna die.
Well, okay, keep it light. Jesus.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I've seen it. I killed people with it. I mean, tried not to kill them.
I mean, hey, not being able to save someone isn't the same as killing them.
What else? Oh yeah, she's back to life or something, or back defibrillated or something. Smith is getting absolutely annihilated. You just get cut off into little pieces. At some point, he uses that crazy chest blaster and yeets him away, but he still gets wrecked, so that didn't really do anything. But while he's distracted, like this movie is so stupid. So Harlan is distracted, cutting Smith into pieces and about to like hit his core to kill him fully. But then J-Lo ninja vanishes behind him, even taking the time to put the chest piece on the floor so he can see it, and stabs him through the eye.
Yeah.
She's literally ninja vanishing from in front of him. At least we don't see it, but he looks that way basically. But he looks back up, she's gone. The chest piece that he is just on the floor, upright, not lying there that she lost it. It's standing upright, and I don't even know what she uses. She just stabs him from the back of his head through the eye and beats him with that.
Yeah, and I have no idea how she got from did she not actually almost die and that was a ruse? Like that's kind of the only thing that makes any sense, right?
That would make sense, yeah.
Because otherwise she's not getting up anytime soon, and she's definitely not going to be in fighting condition.
Yeah, but yeah, she does a
then
big
again,
old
like
ninja
it's the kind of movie where they might just think like, oh no, you can get zapped back to life, and then that'd be totally fine to fight an advanced AI super soldier.
Yeah.
Melee, by the
well,
way,
apparently you
without a
gave
mech.
her superpowers as well, because she locks her arm with the foot, which he used, like the arm he used to overpower the fucking mech, but her foot is fine. She's very strong, apparently. And then she uses the chess piece to fry his brain, because she only needs the CPU to test it. And you know what? She doesn't even say checkmate at the end. It was fucking right there, and you didn't do it. You fools. I would have bet money that she would have done it, and I would have lost. She didn't say checkmate. I can't believe it. I can't believe she didn't say checkmate. That actually upset me.
I remember the last thing she says to him being very weird. I'm like,
yeah. When she says,
I'm kind of forgetting what it was.
Of you.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, he's the better version of you. That it was so weird. I was like, what? Like,
My boyfriend's
not,
better than
not,
you.
no, he's better than you could ever be. He's
yeah,
the better
they have like
version
this.
of you.
They have this conversations like,
It's like a weird thing to say to an ex about your new partner.
he's better than you.
It's like that person's just like me. It's like, yeah, no, but
Yeah,
better
but
in
Smith's
every way.
penis
Fuck
is
you.
way larger than yours, so
Makes more money. He's taller.
he doesn't have a bald spot. He's
know
nice
what? He
feet or
listens
something.
to
I
me.
don't know.
He listens
just
to me,
throws
damn it.
everything out there.
He doesn't disappear for 28 years.
He actually comes back with milk. Hmm. Oh, yeah, she takes the CPU, and then Smith's like, I'll take the rest of my oxygen and stuff, and then you can make it to the fucking rescue pod or whatever. And then they have like 60 seconds to be sad. It's like, I don't like anybody because humans usually disappoint, and I also like both pie and cake. And
And didn't a whole lot of our friends die? And by friends, I mean the people that we met like 10 minutes before the mission.
I know, it's like, but I don't really trust anyone, but I trust you because he really likes him now and he's the best. And then he dies, but not really because they put him back into another machine at the end of the movie.
Yeah, it's also very Titanfall 2.
This is really fun.
I thought they were gonna put him inside like a man's body, and then
Oh my god.
Oh
that
god,
would've been
would
I
so
didn't
go
even
out
think
in
about that.
teeth.
You're so right.
It's like Brad Pitt's body. It's like Brad Pitt avatar with Smith's consciousness.
Hey,
Oh, that would have actually made this hilarious if they
would've-
had like a good cameo. Oh no, Ben Affleck!
yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
I would have died. Like that would have made this movie kind of worth watching. I would
Yeah,
have at
like,
least said,
J-Lo,
yeah,
how
the
many
ending is
times we
fucking
gonna do
hilarious.
this?
How many times are we gonna do this? Oh man. Oh yeah, and then he shuts down, and like 10 seconds after that, she. All right, they do the thing where she walks away from him, then she does like the pose and does like the anime stare in the air. It's like, oh, I'm so sad. Oh, it's so cringe. And then right after that, reinforcements arrive. It's like 10 seconds after this, they get here. Yeah, so we never actually see that rescue pod. I'm so fucking curious. I don't know what this rescue pod is. If anybody,
Yeah, they don't give you any concept of what it is or what it does. It's just it's called the rescue pod.
if you see this pod, anyone out there, I beg you, if you know what this rescue pod is, please tell me.
Yeah, or maybe did we miss it? Was there something in the movie that we just weren't paying attention to because this movie isn't good and we weren't giving it the attention it required, or did they actually just not explain it?
Because I'm pretty sure she crashes on the planet. It's like, scan for a rescue pod, and then they find one. And my immediate thought is, oh, is that where the fucking guy is? Like, no, it's like 3 kilometers somewhere else. It's like, what is it then? Did they drop that there? I don't know. And apparently it's only
it's
one.
98 kilometers away from like where all of them crashed. So
Yeah.
even if it was part of the ship, I don't really understand how it got over there.
Me
and-
neither.
Oh god, and wow, lucky that it happened to be like right beside the enemy base where you need to go do your other mission. So that once you get it down to the wire on time, you just have a short way to go. Super lucky. This is a whole planet, by the way.
Yeah. No, Moodle, it's a pod that needed to be rescued, a side objective. Oh, okay. Yeah, I should have done that first.
Pod that needed to be rescued.
Yeah, she went to the point of no return. She couldn't do the side quest anymore.
Oh god, that would be so funny if she got to the rescue pod and it was like, "Oh, thank you, we made it to the rescue pod." And they're like, "You're here to rescue me?" It's like, "What? No, you're the rescue pod." It's like, "No, I called for a rescue pod because I'm stranded on this alien planet,
Just
and I thought I
misunderstood.
was the only one alive." Like, what?
Because she didn't read the instructions in the beginning and skipped them, just means someone needs a rescue pod.
You skipped through the tutorial.
But yeah, we just cut back to the planet. She's back home. Somewhere in between everything, she picks up a plant that she finds the first. Like, technically, you're the first one. Who is it? How do you want to name it? She's like, Planty. And she says it as a joke. And Smith's like, okay, I doubt this. Like, no, that was a joke. It's like, well, I can't reverse it now. It's called Planty now. It's like, oh, okay. It's really funny. And she puts it like in one of the storage thingies, and the general man gives it to her. It's like, here, you might like this. And yeah, she has that. And then she tells, his name is Booth, by the way. I never said that because he's not really in the movie. Played by Mark Strong is his name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good actor. He should be in more good things.
I think he's got some bills to pay apparently.
Yeah.
What do you mean you want me to be in this Jennifer Lawrence mecha movie?
Sure, I'll do it. And then I
guess. How much am I getting paid?
Then he's like, "Oh, thank you, and you're so amazing and cool, and must really appreciate you brought back those dog tags." Which, yeah, it's nice, I get. And yeah, she's a ranger now. She did the mission, so she's a ranger now. So that's cool. And then she gets a new arc, version 10, with all the super cool things apparently. And it's like,
it's like matte black finish now too. It's super more future than the other.
Yeah, and also has 4 arms because that's her customized.
Yeah, it's her signature.
Yeah.
Why not give them 6?
And then she starts it up, and it's like, oh, starting up the thing. And apparently Smith's voice is classic voice, and he's in there basically. He's like, oh, I know your things because I say the things.
I know you like both cake and pie.
Yeah. Oh. So this definitely kicked off the J-Lo Atlas verse 100%. No, it didn't. This movie was so fucking bad.
6 movies in a TV season for sure. God,
this is like one of these movies. Like, watch it and try to see how many issues you can find with it. If you want,
I would even, honestly, just go play Titanfall 2 or something. Like, you'll have more fun.
If you want to do a video,
play Armored Core 6. That's what you should do.
if you want to make a video about some bad movie and see how much you can find in one go or something, want some practice, this is a good one. You can find a lot of things and start chewing away on it. I feel like this movie just gets worse and worse the more you watch it. It's quite something.
I feel like there has to be people who just totally bought in on this movie, right? Like,
I don't know.
Like other people on Twitter, they're just like, "Oh my god, this movie was fucking awesome."
I've seen universal hatred for this movie.
Happen.
Not hatred, but I don't think anybody loved this movie.
I was arguing with a guy today about Halo because apparently there was some leak that may or may not be true that apparently Halo 7, the 7th Halo game, is going to be more like Halo 5 because people didn't like the more traditional gameplay that Infinite went for. And essentially I said, like, yeah, well, I mean, Halo is doing bad things because of blank, 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 blank. And one of the things I said is the TV show. The guy starts defending the TV show like crazy. Like, as if, like, you don't understand. It's an adaptation. It doesn't have to be. I'm like, no, it's bad. It's bad. I've seen it. I'm not going based on what someone told me. I watched it all. It is very, very bad. Stop it. And the guy went on for like 8 messages. He apparently says, I just don't understand good TV when I see it. And he was talking about the Paramount Plus Halo TV show, everybody.
Well, that's a funny joke.
It's very bad. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah. Movie bad. Don't watch it.
Yeah, definitely.
It has a lot of funny bad things in it, so I don't know. If you do anything online and like to talk about weird bad things with your friends and want to watch something like that, that's a recommendation for it, I guess. I've already told Mutually that this would be a perfect EFAB movies episode.
Yeah, it would.
Because I tried to fucking get him in here, and he's like, I don't want to watch it. And what do I get? I get to watch shitty fucking EFAB movie videos all the time. The amount of times I get dragged in, and I try it, and I fail every time. I think I'm doing it wrong. I think I need to be more aggressive. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you're the reason I've seen this, The Flash, Godzilla X Kong. I mean, there's been a few.
Yeah.
I think we missed Blue Beetle. We were gonna do Blue Beetle, but we didn't end up doing it.
Really? Fuck, I forgot about that movie, to be honest.
I didn't end up seeing it because I think the episode we were gonna do it on ended up getting mixed around because one of us was gonna be away. So we were like, oh, fuck Blue Beetle.
Okay. he got you to play Gollum. That he did.
Oh god, I skipped out on that stuff. Luckily,
uh,
I think I'd have more problem playing a totally broken and terrible video game. It would bother me more. At least a movie, I know it's gonna be over relatively quickly.
mhm. Gollum was so
Whereas a game,
long,
I'd be
man.
like, I might be having to do this for hours, like days even.
Metal is becoming a monster like Mauler.
It's okay, Jojo. I didn't have to play Gollum.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She's fine.
Oh, JLongbone, do you have anything from the beginning of the movie you wanted to point out? Because you got here a bit later. Maybe something you find especially funny you would like to point out?
The part where she's talking to the head, and he like randomly shoots like a ninja star at her.
Yeah, that's the one I made me laugh
out of
too.
his mouth. What the fuck?
He was like, ah.
The issue I had the most issue with it being perpendicular to his teeth instead of parallel. That was so strange.
Yeah, I think someone in chat called it like a Pez dispenser or something, like a very weird Pez dispenser.
A Pez dispenser if the Pez came out sideways, like it's
Right.
strange.
Yeah, this is funny things like this.
Oh,
Yeah.
we got a picture.
Oh.
Oh god.
Oh my god, that's a good one. Oh, I need to get that on screen.
I mean, just overall, JLo's hasn't been doing well this year. She had to cancel her entire tour, and then this flopped, and then like there's this whole glorified music video she came out with for her album that flopped too. It's like horrendous. I'm actually working on a video for that.
How does a music video flop? Just like YouTube
No,
views?
it's like a movie technically that
Okay.
it's like a musical.
It's like
featuring all the
is it
songs
like the R.
from her
Kelly
latest
one,
album.
the Trapped in the Closet thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's kind of like that, but like not annoying, not as annoying.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's not. It's not even that. It's not that epic. It's not as epic as Trapped in the Closet or funny. It's just like her whole thing is like oh god, astrological signs and it's the whole thing. Like I said, I'm coming out with a video for it, so check that out.
Yeah.
And then she does like this documentary for the album and the album music video thing that she made, and like the whole thing is her flaunting her relationship with Ben Affleck when he's not even in her musical movie that much. Like at most his mouth is in the film, and then he plays like this weird political pundit or whatever, with bad facial prosthetic. It's like I said.
You gotta wonder, was that him being like, look, I don't really want to be, I don't want my face to be in
that's
this
what I
thing a
said.
whole lot.
Yeah, that's
or
what I said. Like,
was it her saying like, I don't want to use your star power, I want to use mine. So
No, I think
you
she
can be in it if you
definitely
want to help, but you can't be super recognizable.
No, I think she definitely wanted him to be a part of it. I think she even probably wanted him to direct that. Because like no one else really wanted. People were like really lukewarm about working with her on it because no one believed in it.
Well, I mean,
naturally, because it's
I think
not,
honestly,
it's not
I think if any pop star came up to me and was like, "Hey, I want to do like a long music video epic that tells a story that goes through this whole thing that is going to basically be like Hollywood production," but I would be like, "No, I'm already out." I was like, "No, I just think it's a bad idea. Like, in concept, I don't think it will be anything worthwhile, and it will probably just hurt your career because people will associate you with a project that turned out to be super cringe." Doing a movie or any kind of project like that, like a long form narrative project based on a musical work, is risky as all hell. Like you got to be pretty confident in that. Like remember, I think didn't they try to make like a Green Day album a musical for a while?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think I remember something about that happening, and it didn't go very well. But
I mean, she spent $20 million on it, and like the opening and end credits are just filled with AI generated images.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really it's terrible. It would have been nice looking if she had, I don't know, just, well, given a shit, or just put it in Photoshop and
Maybe it was deliberate,
better,
and then her doing this movie where she's basically getting over her fear of AI and realizing that she loves one.
yeah, that's
It's like, I used AI for my project too, everybody. It's actually not bad. Saved me tons of
Oh.
I would have made that connection in my video, but it was before this even came. Before this came out and before I even knew what it was about.
Ah.
I would have had so many jokes though.
Good stuff.
Well, I mean, she looks good. I heard she's like
Yeah.
54. Like, that surprised me. I was like, yeah. Still looking pretty good there, JLo.
But her music and acting career is just tanking right now. Like 2024 has not been kind to her at all.
See, I don't remember either being fantastic. I know she was always super popular, so she was more successful. But I can't think of a JLo song or movie that I was blown away by.
Well, she was her acting was fine. She was in Selena. That was one good movie she was in.
I did
like
not
see.
see
I remember early like mid '90s JLo. She was on the fast track, and I guess she like I think the music thing was what fucked her up.
I remember liking her in that George
realize that
Clooney
she
movie
was-
Out of Sight, and then not really liking her in anything else I saw her in after that.
Yeah, like I said, I think the movie thing really screwed
Oh,
her
I guess
up.
The Cell was kind of cool.
Yeah, there was like I said, there was a glimmers of hope with her here and there, but I think the music thing it didn't, because from what I hear, there were some dirty tactics on her end to get that happening. So I guess that her focusing more on that and the dirty shit she had to do to get it going, it kind of screwed up her career in general. Like no one took her behind the scenes, no one really took her seriously. She had a fan base, but no one really gave her.
You gotta
any
think
props.
though. I gotta think like, is it weird that she's getting people in the industry turn on her when she's trying to go out of her way to get a creative project off the ground, but they didn't seem to have any problem with her when she had those like ridiculous lists of things that she required at shows that she would do? Like, you remember her like what's the word for that kind of list that people have? It's like a concession sheet or something that everyone has to have like in your dressing room, and hers came out and it was like ridiculous. It was like super long. So if you ever wanted to have Jennifer Lopez be like a guest on your talk show, you're looking at spending about 15 grand on her green room.
Jesus Christ. Why?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where people were just used to being, or at least in the industry, people are used to celebrities being assholes. So it's just like,
I always try to imagine if for some reason I become a celebrity and I'm in the show and they're like, hey, what do you need, Mr. Metalcommander? It's like, I don't know, a chair and a glass of water? I don't know. What do you...
Oh, a rider. It's called a rider.
Can I have like a coffee? Do we have coffee? I like coffee.
Yeah, no, but some of them will be like coffee, but from Starbucks, and exactly this type of coffee, and 6 of them brought at different times of the day, and also a big bowl of M&Ms, but no brown M&Ms, not a single brown M&M, like
God,
things like
never
that. Where it's just...
God, see, I just wouldn't invite these people. It's like, fuck off. Bring your own fucking M&Ms, you loser. You're a fucking millionaire. Jesus Christ. If they would ask me, when do you need your coffee? It's like, I don't know, put a fucking coffee machine in my room. I can make myself one. I have hands.
Well, I think the idea with it is I think got is probably a better term than get, because I don't think celebrities have quite the power that they used to in, like, say, the mid 90s, because there weren't nearly as many celebrities and it wasn't nearly as easy to get famous. But the idea is that your value coming on that show or being in that movie makes it worth them going out of their way to make you happy.
I mean, yeah, that's fine.
So that
I'm
if
just
you're
trying
not
to say
willing
I'm
to go
really
out of the way to
easy
do all
be...
that stuff, then she doesn't need to waste her time on you, because clearly you don't understand how awesome she is.
I'd be really
And you
easily
could get away with
satisfied,
that,
is what I'm trying to say. It's like, I don't know, have a snack there in case I don't get hungry. I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be like, honestly, keep the coffee coming. Like, if you guys could run out and grab me a sandwich at like 6 p.m., that'd be cool. But that's pretty much it.
I'm like, do you need me in the green room at all times? I can go myself, actually. It's like, I like to walk around anyway.
it's funny you mentioned that brown M&M thing, because there's
I
a
think
thing
that was from
in one
Wayne's
of-
World. That, like,
Oh, really? Yeah, but
wait,
there's
I think
a
it was
thing
in Wayne's World too. I got that from, to be fair.
Yeah, there's a thing in one of JLo's movies where she only eats brown M&Ms because like the chocolate's already brown, so it's not. Like,
Oh,
there's
really?
no artificial coloring. It was a weird thing. It was in one of her romantic comedies. Huh. Just thought
Yeah,
that
no,
was.
I thought I was just referencing the dude who I think he was a roadie in the 70s. He's a character in Wayne's World too that has this big thing where he keeps on telling a story about doing a show, I think with Ozzy Osbourne, where Ozzy made him sort out the M&Ms into different bowls so that, and it had to be different colors, and yeah, I don't know. So.
God.
But I think it's the joke is just ridiculous celebrity demands, and I think J-Lo had some of hers leak at one point, and I remember them being comically hilarious. Like they were just really over the top that you're like, wow, why would you ever want to have J-Lo anywhere near you? Makes her seem like the most high maintenance person in the world, but I don't remember the specifics, so I don't know. Maybe I'm mixing her up with someone else. Maybe it was a Paula Abdul thing the entire time.
What I'm trying to say is celebrities are psychopaths sometimes. That's
Yeah. Particular actresses, but particularly pop stars.
Mostly there's like normal ones. I mean, you hear always nice things about different people. There's a reason why everybody says good things about like Keanu Reeves or something, because he seems like to be super easy to get along with and just super, super chill.
Yeah, I think not enough celebrities care enough about that kind of reputation.
No.
It's like I think a lot of them are very concerned with how people are treating them and what their general optics are, but when like they don't consider the fact that it's like, yeah, but if you're just a person who's really pleasant to be around, people talk about that and that gets out there and people tend to respect you for it, which is why I think like most people don't like making fun of Keanu Reeves really, because it is kind of known that he's a pretty decent dude for the most part, at least from what his public knowledge being out there is. He seems like a guy who doesn't really do it for the money. He just has fun doing this stuff and sends a lot of money to different charities. So how can you hate that guy, right? Whereas if you say that you need like 6 bottles of Dom Perignon in your change room or you're not showing up, I could see people being like, well, this person's a little on the high maintenance side, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I don't think they're wrong for thinking that.
No. Oh, God. Oh, well. That was a fun tangent. Ugh. Well,
yeah, celebrities.
I was going to read a couple of super chats before we run away. Let's see. We got 2 buckaroonies from Az's Dead Chicken. Ask. Last night, have you played Helldivers with Mauler? No. After that EFAB, we all went straight to bed, I think. I sure did. No. I'm going to be playing some Helldivers tomorrow with Wolf, though. He already has that listed on his on the EFAB highlights channel. We're going to kill some bugs, and I think Mark might join as well, I think.
As long as Wolf's okay with it, I would be.
Oh, he already told me I should ask peeps if we can fill some spots, so it's all
definitely
Gucci.
in. I've actually never spoken to Wolf. This will be super fun.
Oh, okay. Fun. So yeah, that's going to be tomorrow.
He's been a legend to me for years.
That should be fun. It's funny because I started talking to him when he stopped being on EFAB and stuff. Like I started being more often on like EFAB stuff, like in the 3rd season of EFAB. I think on EFAB.me it's like it's like split into seasons or something. I joined in on those pretty late. I think I was on like 1 episode in the first 100 or 2. I wasn't on that much, I think. Yeah. But yeah, that should be fun.
I think episode 100 was my first episode. Or 50? No, I think it was 100. Oh yeah, no, it was 100, but I was on like 52 or something like that. It was a video of me playing VR with my prosthetic leg.
Oh,
in response to the whole Jim Sterling, like disabled people can't use VR, and I'm like, I literally use VR to teach myself how to move better with my robot leg, man.
Let's see.
It's flat out a tool for a disabled person.
Okay, I was I was on 1, 2. I was thinking about the first 50 episodes. I think after the first 50 episodes is when I started being on more. I was on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. My first episode was episode 11.
I think it was the first episode a Jared Genesis episode, or was that just when it was
I
on
think that
Wolf's
was
channel?
I think that was the proto episode. I think.
Oh yeah, so that might have been like on Wolf's channel about that. But man, that was a tale.
Yeah.
What an ending, ultimately.
What was that episode about? 11. Oh, Joseph Anderson's Why Horror Games Don't Scare Me. Oh, okay. I remember that video.
Was that the root of the term massive?
No, that was the Dark Souls 2 video.
Okay.
Oh god, 49. That was a Movie Bob video. Why did Last Jedi is a love letter to Star Wars? Good lord. I've been on way too much EFAB. Jesus Christ.
That's a fun show.
What's wrong
Everyone
with me?
subscribe to Mauler. In case for some reason you're watching Metals Forge and have never heard of EFAP.
Yeah, that's weird, I think, but... Because Mauler's the one who forced me to do all these things I'm doing right now. Not really, but interested me in it, I guess. 316 appearances on EFAB. The second one after me is Jay with 115.
Oh my.
I was behind Jay at some point. By a bit. Oh god. I should say no more often. It's probably better for my mental health. Anyway.
Probably in double digits at this point at least. I don't know how many I've been on.
Well, I have the site up here. Let's see. Where are you at? Let's see. You got 17 appearances.
Yeah. Coming up on 20. There we go.
It's funny because it's 316 appearances that people know of. Because there's probably, I don't know how many EFAP movies that are still in the pipeline that need to be edited that we recorded.
Well, yeah, funny enough, speaking of the Halo show, I'm in all of the Halo season. That's the reason I watched that show and thus had an argument with a guy today on Twitter. Because the Halo show was bad and I'm on the season 2 EFAP movies for Halo. Or EFAP TV for Halo.
Good stuff, good stuff. What a great website, by the way, EFAP ME. Good shit.
Yeah, that's
good shit. Anyway, we got $5 by Jose Gonzalez. Thank you.
Yeah.
Space taco flavored kisses from my space band. I'm Jennifer Lopez.
That is a South Park reference.
Yeah.
My taco flavored kisses. Lopez is just like a puppet too. It's like a hand puppet.
Metal's name in EFAP lore is canonically Ronald McCuckens. Oh, that's from a highlight from one of my streams, though. I don't even know how we got to that joke. Was like, my name is Ronald McCuckens, and tonight I'm gonna watch you fuck my wife. I don't even know the context, but that was really funny.
Well, I mean, I guess it's all in the name right there.
One gifted membership by Psychotic Mongoose. Thank you very much.
Hey, thanks, Mongoose.
I got a tenner by James. Thank you. Cyberpunk is one of the few that got it right. Rogue AI ravaged the old internet so badly everyone had to cut most of it off and lose a ton of knowledge and either have isolated or new sections. Oh,
yeah, nice.
Sounds good. Yeah, I haven't played it, but sounds pretty good.
That's lore stuff. So actually, there's a book called World of Cyberpunk that Dark Horse published. It's got a lot of like lore in one place that's pretty easy to go through. Tell you about the corporate wars and all sorts of neat stuff.
Then we got the 20 gifted memberships by J Mac, the legend itself. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, man.
Surrogate father of the internet.
Another $5 by James. Thank you. When even Mass Effect Andromeda makes more sense than this movie, that's a bad sign. I need to play those games again one day. I only played 1 and 2, and then I never played the other ones. So maybe one day.
Playing 3, I think, is still worthwhile. I don't know. I think I kind of burned myself out on Mass Effect back when the original trilogy came out, and I played Andromeda and hated it so much that I haven't wanted to touch the whole series since, basically. But I mean, hey, maybe one day I'll give Mass Effect another shot.
I saw yesterday on EFAB every time someone did like a super chat. Apparently, chatters can now reply to super chats, and people always wrote "gay" after a super chat. Gay, very gay. I'm pretty sure I saw one super chat that said, "Man, I can't wait for chat to call me gay."
I always wonder if that starts causing you a real problem. Is there a way to turn that feature off?
I mean, it's just a
Well,
highlighted
if
thing
everyone-
that says "gay."
Because no, but what I mean is you could probably like destroy a channel if you made it so that every time someone super chatted, you like the meme was to everyone call that person a name. That like it might discourage people from super chatting because it's like I don't want to be the center of attention here in the chat.
Well, I did it just now.
Yeah,
Super
made it a
gay.
thing.
Gay. Another 5 by James, thank you. Chad, I'll give you 3 Lego options with set names so you can look them up. Deep Sea Explorer Submarine, Medieval Castle, or Pirate Ship. Vote in super comment. Apparently that's already happened.
I'm going with Deep Sea Explorer Submarine. I remember having a bunch of Aquanauts Lego sets when I was a kid. They were pretty cool.
I know of the Pirate Ship and Medieval Castle one, so I'm curious about the Deep Sea Explorer Submarine one. That sounds kind of cool.
I don't know if it was from the Aquanauts line, but it was a big thing back in the mid '90s. They were like Aquanauts. It's like space fighters, but they're underwater.
We got 5 gifted memberships by Critically Chibi. Thank you very much.
Yay.
We got
I enjoy chibi art.
11-month membership of the Bearded Flame category. Free milestone! Mootle, I would like to say, this movie is bad, funny bad, but still. Also, hi, Jilben Marg.
Hello.
Hello.
And then 14 months of bearded fleaminess by Snakes. You're all disingenuous. Anything that in Atlas makes sense in a Netflix fanatical universe. How don't you understand that? I know, that's our
The
bad.
Netflix fanatical universe.
The NFU.
Who was the fanatical universe person again? That was an EFAB response. That someone, I think they meant to say fantastical, but they said fanatical in their video.
That sounds
and it
familiar.
ended up being really fun.
I can't think of it right now. Maybe someone in chat remembers.
I can't think of the specifics either, but the second I heard it triggered that memory.
We got $5 by Idiot Coin. Idiotison. It's not a coin. I read it wrong. If I had a nickel for every JLo AI project, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Yeah.
Oh, it was the not so great debates. That was one of the big proto EFAPs. It was Wolf and Mahler speaking to a Last Jedi fan, who well, he didn't really have his arguments together. We'll just leave it at that. He didn't understand what he was walking into talking to Mahler.
Right, we got one last one by Hyperbolic Ninja. Thank you very much. $5. Liar. I watched a video where it taught me how I see if people are lying. If I like their politics, they're telling the truth. More comic book readings. Oh, the Gotham High one. God, that was so long ago. That was fun.
Gotham High. Good old Asian Batman.
God, good times. Good times. But yeah, that came out great as well. I really enjoyed rewatching those. I remember listening to that while playing Sekiro back in the day. Nice.
Yeah. Hell, I might have too. I think, it was probably like 2019.
It was called The Great Debate. It's on YouTube. Mahler and Wolf handled that.
Not so great debate.
Yeah. All right, I think that's that.
Yeah.
Well, we did it. But before we get out of here, JLongbone, what are you up to? What do you have to tell the lovely people in chat and the also not so lovely people in chat?
Oh well, like I said, I'm working on a video or reaction video to JLo's musical project. That'll be out. I don't know when that'll be out. Probably
Soon, TM.
by the
I look forward to seeing it just because I want to learn about what this thing is. Now.
Yeah,
I'm not
sounds
looking up
interesting.
anything about it until your video comes out.
Yeah, it's bad. And there's like, she, like I don't mean to blab about this, but like she makes like little references to when she dated P Diddy, but they're really softball references. Like you have to be invested in her lore.
Jennifer Lopez dated P Diddy. I feel like I don't remember that happening at all.
It was all the way back in like the late '90s.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
no, like I was around then. I'm old.
I was
in high
around
school
then.
then. That was probably exactly when I would be aware of things like this, and yeah, I've totally blocked that one from my memory.
Yeah, but you know, I got that coming out, a reaction for that, and
Nice.
Oh, I got some other stuff I'm working on, but I want to. Oh yeah, Tyler Perry's latest film. I'm doing a reaction for that, and that'll be out whenever. Like that's in the beginning
Tyler
stages
Perry
of
still
editing.
doing Medea movies, or is he like evolved?
He's. I think he stopped doing the Medea thing. Like he's retired on that, I think. But no, he hasn't. He just makes more stuff. He hasn't evolved really.
No, like are they all kind of similar in tone, like sort of silly comedy things, or
Oh
like,
no. He does like dramas and like erotic thrillers and shit.
Oh
now.
shit! Didn't see that coming.
Yeah. But like the reaction I'm working on for his latest film, that's an erotic thriller. He tried to make emphasis on the word "try" because it's really bad.
Actually, I just watched an erotic thriller yesterday, Mulholland Drive. Kind of on a David Lynch kick after watching all of Twin Peaks.
Oh well, yeah. Tyler Perry's mea culpa is just like Mulholland Drive, but
yeah,
shitty.
Oh boy.
Mulholland Drive is very confusing, especially its ending. Although I feel like I need to think about it a whole lot more until I actually even understand what happened. But yeah, I don't know that I'd call it would be a hard one to recommend to people beyond saying, yeah, you get to see Naomi Watts' boobs a bunch.
Yo.
Yeah, oh yeah, and she looks great too.
Nice. Well, the link is down below. Go check it out. It's fun stuff over there.
Yep.
Mark, you got anything going on?
I've been working on a secret project that I'm hoping to have done by the time my wife gets back from her trip. I feel like I need to kind of do a video, and while my larger projects are being kind of difficult at times, like for me to just getting caught up on like script segments and stuff, I feel like I can talk about a game I've been playing recently in depth, but the kind of depth where I can be brief about it and just sort of give you the impression, because the actual I guess here I'll reveal it to you guys, even though don't spread it around much. It's gonna be on Hades and the early access for Hades 2, and that game is basically half an hour of gameplay that's designed in a way that it's also infinite gameplay. It's kind of neat.
Okay. Well, look out for that. Obviously, also down below. Well, I'm gonna be playing Helldivers with Wolf tomorrow. Well, and Mark apparently. And just
I'll be doing
well,
that
actually, don't
also.
need to do any prep for a Forge next week, because next week is Forge number 100. Woo!
Yeah.
Gonna play some party games and stuff. JLongbone, if you're around, you're obviously also invited to hang out at some point. We're just gonna hang around, play some party games, and I'll probably
make
get
sure
drunk.
that my pummel party is updated.
Oh, it sounds fun, but I have to get back on this terrible JLo video reaction. I want to get it out as soon as possible.
Yeah, it's all good. There's plenty of people there if you just want to pop in at some point. We're probably gonna have to cycle people around anyway. But
Okay.
yeah, just let us know. It's gonna be a good old time. Just gonna hang around and do some video games.
Yeah, pummel party actually got a big update on May 19th.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, maybe we play that at some point.
I did need to update.
It's also a new Jackbox Party Pack that came out at some point, number 10. So I'll probably give that a ride, little whirl. But yeah, that's
Jackbox X.
That's what's to look out for in the near future, and just streams with video games and stuff. Wind Waker, Helldivers, all that good stuff. But yeah. That's that. Thank you all for hanging out. Thanks, JLongbone, for joining us. It was fun stuff. And yeah, we see you all, well, during the week and or next week on the Forge number 100. Okay, we out of here. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
The puppies are saying goodbye to you, even though you can't see them. Jojo's waving.